fight. We claimed the sword, and they, in like kind of thanks, I think gave the sword to us. I think that's kind of where we left off.
Yeah,
I can't remember what we were actually doing en route, but we were doing something en route.
Yeah, we were going to Woody End essentially, as we were in. Obviously, started off in Hobbit Jail as we were all disturbers of the peace, and we have now a letter to deliver to Farmer Maggot at Bamthalon, which is his little farm on the outskirts of the Shire, near Buckland, essentially. So that's kind of where we left off, with kind of Farmer Maggot's dogs surrounding us and Nibs kind of talking him down as you pass over the letter. And yeah, that's pretty much it then. So we'll get into tonight's game. Tonight's game is going to last about 3 to 4 hours, depending on the choices that we make. Yeah, I'm excited. So it's I think we're missing one person on the Foundry. Who are we missing? Just Nibs, I think.
Oh, yes, might be me.
Yeah, no worries, mate. You're not going to miss much to take time. Okay, so Bamthalon. Our characters that took the journey then made their way to the Hobbit farm on the outskirts, surrounded by Fang, Wolf, and Stripe, Farmer Maggot's famous 3 dogs from the book. As they bark and growl at the characters, Farmer Maggot comes out. Oi! What are you all doing here on my land? Don't you know there's strangers about?
It's black for me. I think we've got the sight issue.
Oh, okay.
Can someone remind me where to find the Foundry link in our channel?
It's just in the game link channel. On the Discord there. Does that work there?
Yep, I got it. Is it Nibs asking?
Yeah, there's Nibs.
There you go. I just ping it to the right person. Yes.
Okay. Can everyone else see the screen? No one else has got issues out there. Can you see Falco?
It's black for me.
Yeah, I can see.
It's black for me.
Oh, okay. One moment then, yeah. Let's get all these teething issues out of the way. Yeah, it doesn't automatically update the site. I'll go ahead and do that for you. Okay. So you two in the top corner then, you can see now you're not in this scene just yet. You're already in the farm, having been summoned here. Nibs and Falco, you can see the scene, is that correct?
Yes, now I can see it.
Okay, beautiful stuff. Alright then, fantastic. So, yeah, Farmer Maggot then strides out. Nibs? Nibs, is that you?
Are you, Maggot? Yes, it's us. Hey, call the dogs off, would you? There's all friends here.
Fine! Straight, Wolf! And his dogs soon disappear back into the farm as he strides over, looking very inquisitively at the elf and looking at the wounded Falco as well, as Falco took a nasty fall last session.
And a nasty stab.
Yeah. What are you doing here, Nibs?
Oh, this is it's a bit of a tale. Maybe best we go inside and maybe you get something to soothe our weary feet. We've been through it, as you may be able to see from poor Falco here. But I'd rather not discuss it outdoors, if you know what I mean.
Hi, Cousin Maggot.
Falco? Following the family tree, I see.
Well, I'm still alive, so it's better than not.
Aye, hopefully you won't last your brothers and sisters, eh? Well, come inside then. Don't go dilly-dallying around. Ain't got time for all that. And Father Maggot leads you inside his beautiful farmhouse as he takes you through his winding paths. And you find yourself inside. as you head inside, you see 3 characters you didn't expect to see here. One of them is Bilbo Baggins. As Bilbo turns around with his smoking pipe and gives all 3 of you a wink. Another one is a rather tall human who's kind of not skulking but leant in the corner. I will just do an introduction for him in just a moment. And another young hobbit as well. You might have seen him around. Egermeyer Headstrong. He's a bit of an outdoors hobbit, a bit like you, Nibs. You might have passed him in your travels as you boundary. He's a bit more of a hunter type. You might have seen him out catching rabbits and foxes and that kind of thing. Farmer Maggot gestures you to kind of sit down. All right then, well, tell us what's going on.
Oh, it's full house here you have, Maggot. Egg, good to see you. You Dusty Egg, what are you doing indoors?
And he kind of looks over the rest of the group, but I don't think he was expecting to have to share all of this adventure with quite so many people. Probably not the human.
Well,
I've got black screen, just so you know.
Bilbo breaks the silence. I don't know what's going on there. Bilbo breaks the silence and I take it you got my letter there?
Yes, sir, we do. As he pulls it out, slightly bloodstained.
He looks at the bloodstained letter quite curiously, and well, I had to get you out of the basement somehow, didn't I? Clever old trick of mine.
Oh, Bilbo, you old trickster, all that. Well done.
Yeah, he opens the letter and he shows it you, and it's actually blank. There's nothing on the piece of paper. Well, didn't want you wasting away in the cellar.
Oh, I should have known, Bilbo. That's a good one. That's a new one. And here we were protecting and guarding your secrets from those humans, and it was a blank page all along.
Nib just kind of chuckles softly to himself.
Bilbo as well kind of chuckles as his trick has paid off, and he got you guys out. And Bilbo says, "Well, you're probably all wondering why I dragged you halfway across the Shire, and who these 2 new companions are of yours. I'd like to introduce you to 2 good friends of mine. Sigmar over here," and he gestures to the tall human stood in the corner of the farmhouse. And Sigmar, can you just give us a brief introduction of your character and kind of what you look like?
Yeah, I'm Sigmar, just Sigmar. I'm a rather serious-looking gentleman from the Wilderland, from the city of Dale. I've travelled far from there since I don't really have any attachment to that place. I don't have any family anymore. But the Dale folk are quite proud of their adventuring history and have a reputation for fighting a particular dragon.
Did you hear that, everyone? Dragon. You know, like from my book? That's how I came across him. He's come here to help us with something rather important, which I'll get to in just a moment. And of course, my other dear friend, who you might have seen around the Shire, Egermeyer Headstrong. Egermeyer, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Egermeyer. I'm tall for a hobbit. I spend most of my time outdoors hunting birds and animals and fishing. I come from a family of outdoorsy type hobbits, and am an expert with this bow.
Well, there you go, Elf. Maybe you've got some competition now, Ted.
Real quick, and I know this is going to be like really meta, that's 3 people that are, unless somebody's going to swap out a character, there's 3 people using a bow.
Yeah, I think we'll come to that when we cross it. No big deal.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, like he kind of says that, and yeah, Ted will kind of chuckle a bit. And like, sure, of course you are.
For a hobbit. For a hobbit. I'm a hobbit who wishes he was an elf.
Well, there you go, Ted. It looks like you've got maybe an apprentice, we'll say. Yeah, he looks eager to show off, and he's quite tall for a hobbit as well. Not as tall as the old Took himself, but he's he definitely stands half a foot taller than all the other hobbits in the group. Well then, before we get down to business, you must all be starving. I'm a maggot. Break out the seed cake. Be a good hobbit, will you? Right, Yen Bilbo. Farmer Maggot. He kind of heads off out into the kitchen. You hear lots of clanging and banging as he comes in, and he kind of pops down some food in front of you guys. Some nice brandy and water. Hot cup of tea for anyone who wants it, and you can all have a good meal and kind of fill yourself up. It's interesting for our bigger characters, as the hobbits eat twice as much as you do and are twice as small, which is maybe something you're used to at this point after spending time with them or not. As you guys enjoy a good meal. Well then, do tell me what's happened. What took you so long to get here? By my calculations, you should have been here hours ago.
We were a bit waylaid upon the road. We ran into a few other menfolk, some travelers. They had a bit of business with a sword down in the barrows, and there was actually a barrow wight, which are real, by the way. I wasn't quite sure, but we ran into one, and it was a bit of nasty business, I don't mind telling you. But Folko here and the rest of the gang, Ted, were all quite brave, and well, that's one barrow that folks won't have to worry about anymore. It was a bit touch and go for a minute there, and poor Folko is still recovering, as you can see.
A barrow wight? Well, you'll be telling adventures grander than mine soon, with all the trouble you guys have got up to in the last few months. Trolls, orcs, and now barrow wight. Well,
not so loud, Bilbo. Don't want to spread these stories any further than they've already gotten, don't you know?
I think it's a little too late for that now, Nibs. You've been labelled a disturber of the peace. Mad Nibs not wise. That's what they whisper now behind your back.
Oh, I know they are, I know. I will never be able to show myself at the Bounders Round Table ever again.
I wouldn't worry about it. There's a whole wide world out there. Beyond your Bounders Table, Nibs.
Oh, there is.
Well.
There is.
Well, you're probably all curious then as to why I dragged you halfway across the Shire. It's to do with those... Well, that wolf you've been talking about. Do you remember? The one that cornered you in the barn?
I'm pretty sure that another one of your compatriots dealt with that, so at least that's what they stated.
Well, that's what we thought. Isn't that, Maggot? Well, Farmer Maggot he sits up and he takes a long draw from his pipe and he gazes out of the small window. Well, it all starts with chickens. As he suddenly blows out a long line of blue-greyish smoke. It's because of my chickens, so he sent a letter to Bilbo Baggins. And then any hint of jest fades away as he leans into you and your friends. And to be honest, I've been glad you have not come alone. When I saw that thing at night, blood in its teeth and the fire in its eyes, I knew something was beyond the ken of myself or any other folk in the East Farthing. It was a beast, I tell you, no other some kind of hungry wolf that came up from Dunderland starving. No, no, no. This was a black thing, as its fur had been burnt like kindling, with nothing natured about it, and it sent chills down my spine, it did. Exactly the same beast that you described to Bilbo here. I guess your friend didn't deal with it after all, and it's still out there. Well, you know that Hamish? He's half mad but good with a spear. I believe him, but if that wolf's come back, we're gonna need all the strength we can muster. Would have been no easy task, mind you. It growled at me and we locked eyes, and I saw naught but lust for death in its gaze. It meant to kill more than my chickens in their coop that night, let me tell you. It grabbed a lantern in one hand, you see, and a chopping axe in the other, as if it was going to take me. I wasn't going down without a fight, he says proudly. Me and my dogs went out into the garden. Before I knew what happened, it was on us, crossing the field in a bound and pinning me to the soil, snarling and slavering. And Maggot's eyes glaze over in the memory, and you see him trouble at the recollection. In a fit, I swung my lantern up and shattered the pouring oil onto its muzzle, I did. It yelped and screamed as the fire blazed, and it ran back into the dark. The last thing I saw before it disappeared towards the Brandywine Bridge. Horrible fire in its eyes it was. And he sets the pipe on the bench beside him. It's still out there somewhere. I swear I've seen it again. On the edges of the Banff Lang more than one night since then. Those eyes burning into me from the dark. And if the stirrings from Buckland are any hint, it's causing no end of trouble there too. Master Bilbo, sir, I was hoping that, well, your friends there might help me and the Buckland folk put a stop to that foul thing hunting before it gets the taste for something more than my chickens, if you get my meaning, Mr. Bilbo. Well,
Ted's gonna kind of like hear all of this and just go, so a warg, right? Yes, I think we can manage that.
Ah, you see, Balamaggin, nothing to worry about. Our dear friend Ted here and our good friend Sigmar up to the challenge. What about our 3 hobbits? As he looks at the 3 smaller companions of the group that might be a little worried about facing down a warg.
I've never seen anything so large as that, but I'll try.
Old Foco Grub never says no to a challenge.
Bilbo just smiles at that. Well then, mad nibs not wise. You got one more adventure in you? Okay. Well, Father Maggot says then, I'm afraid you ain't got much to offer in a reward, other than that you can stay at my farm any time you like. I'll put you all up, give you some food, whenever you come by the Burn for Lang. But we do this for the good people of the Shire. So, well, whenever you're ready, you don't have to... I don't believe they go out in the daytime, I'll be honest. So I think you should spend the day here and head out tonight over to the Brandywine. Get over to Buckland. See if you can pick up any hints and clues of where this warg's been bothering.
So Ted has shadow law, right? So he knows about, like, you know, the nastier things of Middle Earth and everything. To him, he would obviously... Dave knows this isn't a normal warg, but as far as Ted's concerned, this is just an over-embellishing hobbit that's never seen a warg before. He would know that wargs do go out in the day, but, like, obviously he's going to be polite at this point. But do you want me to make, like, a shadow roll? Like, is there, like, a roll or something you want me to make to try and discern?
Do me a law roll, and I'll see if we can give you any more information there.
It's about on par, yep.
At least you're getting him out of the way now, Ted.
Well, I mean, there was all the last session, wasn't it? It was either really high or absolutely nothing. Nothing in between.
Yeah, Ted, I mean, you've got your suspicions then. like you say, normal wargs, you know, they do go out, you know, during the day. You've seen them before. You've probably fought them before during the day, but this one's only been seen at night, which might offer maybe some other clues. It might be something else, but I'm afraid of the fail roll. All you can do is imagine, as it was.
Mm-hmm.
What about you there, Sigmar? I'll just throw over to you for a moment. How does this sound to you?
I mean, I also have Shadow Law, so I guess I could take some guesses.
Yeah, you can do me a law roll as well if you like. See what you know.
So we should definitely take screenshots of our sheet so that we know, like, because you can hide certain bits, but so we know which other's like proficient in good things, because otherwise everyone's gonna jump on things and there'll be people who are better at it, if that makes sense. Because our characters would know who's good at lore, who's good at, you know, awareness and stuff.
Yeah. It's probably a good idea, I think, if we all kind of let each other know maybe what we're good at. For sure. Oh, okay there, Sigmar. I'm afraid you also don't really have a clue, really. You also just think it might be a normal warg. Yeah, as long as it's not a dragon, you should be okay. I think Nibs, you back, Nibs?
Yeah.
I think Nibs might have to take a work phone. Oh, he's there. Okay, Nibs, you can do a law roll if you like, because you also have the Shadow Law ability.
Oh. Okay, don't mind if. Give me 1 second here. So, just lore. Is it
Yeah, just
different
lore,
shadow lore or just lore?
Yeah, just law.
Lore. I roll.
Oh, it's not come through, but oh, there you go. Oh, we're not off to a very good start, are we? Fair enough. I guess no one's not really got any idea then, really. But Nibs, and you and Falco saw it that night, and there was something off about that warg. Jet black it was, like it had been set a cinder.
No, I thought it wasn't there.
Oh yeah, you were there that session, were you? I guess it's just Nibs then, who's the sole survivor as it was so far, that might have come across it. And Nibs, you're still left with quite a fright.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well then, you've still got an hour or two till sunset, essentially, until you guys can head out down to the ferry and cross over it to Buckland. And Nibs, I can hear you. Can you talk?
Oh yeah, good. All right, I wasn't sure.
There
I
you go.
have
Yeah,
a little bit of a lag.
Yeah, no worries, mate. No problem. So I've got a little map here. So the Bam Furlong is kind of where this little token is, and you guys have got to do a little bit of a travel over the ferry here to get to Buckland. But hopefully you can pick up a bit of information about where this warg might be. So we'll just kind of go around everyone, see what they're doing for the next couple of hours to prepare for the mission, and then we'll set off at nightfall out to Brandybuck on the edge of the Shire. And have any of our 3 hobbits left the Shire before?
Nope.
No.
No.
What about you, Egamir?
I've been to the edge and I've never crossed over.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. Well, Buckland's probably as far as you 3 have been then. Hopefully we stay in the Shire. So, I guess a couple of hours are going to pass then before the night sets and we set off out on our adventures. Ted, how would you be passing the time over the next couple of hours?
Said all of that muted. So Ted is probably going to spend some time kind of thinking, oh, these hobbits are going to get massacred if we come across a warg. Right, okay, come on. Like, and he's going to just start, like, sharpening his blades, making sure, like, he's got enough arrows. He's like, okay, like, you know, the man might be able to give us a hand here, and like he's done some impressive things, but he feels that's more luck than judgment. How true that is, whatever. But in his current state, he's a little bit still kind of recovering a bit, and still kind of doubts the capability of this travelling troupe, as he still has he's got a shadow scar, and he's still kind of dealing with that.
Yeah, that's very true, isn't it? You're still a bit down in the dumps as it was. Okay,
Miserable is
awesome.
my literal status. Is miserable.
A miserable elf. Oh no. All right then. What about you, Sigma? How do you pass the time in this farm that's far too small for you? It's difficult to walk around inside, but it's a lovely, nice place at least. There's plenty of food and drink. What do you kind of do to get ready for the journey ahead?
Alright, I find a comfortable corner and I'm sharpening my sword and my arrow heads with some tools that I have in my pack.
Okay, fair enough. Do you share a glance with Ted? Do you both look concerned?
Yeah, we're both completely ignorant as to what we're walking into, so
Excellent.
better be prepared.
Okay. What about you there, Edgar? How do you kind of spend the next couple of hours in the Bamfalong?
I stick to the elf. He's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. So I try to sit down next to him and just copy what he's doing.
That's awesome.
Is there anything we could go? Could we go scouting? I ask him.
Yes, that is certainly something that we can look at. I mean, I guess the best thing is what's your true sort of skill set? What do you pride yourself on?
Hunting, tracking animals. I'm very good with animals. So there might be something we could see in the daylight that we might not see at night.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting hunt. You didn't have the chance to meet our acquaintance from before. He was an eccentric character, but he seemed truthful. So the fact that he said he stuck it with his, boar tusk spear, he kind of says in a sort of like weird, shaking his head like, what a weird thing to wield. It's like, so it's interesting that the thing, is still running around. So I guess we'll see. But if all else fails, and Ted will kind of just like bring out his short sword and just be like, this to the eye tends to solve most things if an arrow doesn't.
All right.
Awesome. You've got a little shadow, I guess, then, Ted.
Yep.
You also notice, I think, Edgar, that he's a little... Normally, elves are quite happy. You've probably never seen an elf before, but what you hear, they're quite positive, good singers, spread a lot of love and joy through Middle-earth. But this elf seems to be a bit down in the dumps, a bit depressed. Maybe all elves are like this, and they're all just rumours and tales. I guess you have an opinion.
Would singing a song for him help?
Well, I say Ted is murmuring the tale of Luthien and Beren, so he's definitely down in the dumps.
I think, Edgar, you could attempt to sing a song and cheer Ted up. I think that's a great idea. So
all right, I must have the perfect song for sad elves, right?
Okay, give me a song roll and let's see how you pull this off.
And my apologies, this is my first time using Forge. Where do I roll at?
Yeah, no worries. If you just double click on your character, you see it brings up your character sheet.
Sure.
And then you see underneath where it says attributes, it says strength. Underneath strength, it says skills. And then underneath those skills, you'll see song. If you just click on the word song, it opens up a little box.
Oh, God.
Then
Okay.
just click on roll.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. Oh, fantastic! And with a great success, Ted, I'm going to award you a hope point back.
Do you know what's really funny as well? Is that's one of the very few ways you can actually get rid of temporary shadow points, is to actually have somebody sing to you. I looked it up, and I was like, nobody's going to do that, so I'm going to take a shadow scar. It's like, I'll just wear it and deal with it later on. But yeah, that would have actually, it's one of the few ways you can actually lift somebody's spirits enough to remove temporary shadow points.
Oh, that's fantastic!
So while he's humming the lay of Luthien, I'll be like, here's one, and I'm cheering him up.
Oh, that's a really nice scene. I really like that. That's awesome. And I think you can be inspired, Edgar, on your next roll, my friend. So when you do another roll, just click on the Inspire box, and it means that you've done something cool that the GM thinks. So you get one hope, Ted, which lifts you out of your miserable status. And Edgar, you feel quite pleased with yourself as you've helped this elder creature to cheer up.
Thanks.
Beautiful. Okay. Over to Falco then. How do you spend the next couple of hours, Falco? Getting ready for the sun to go down to head out.
Foco would take out the orc banner they got for the cave and hand it to Bilbo. Then spend the next couple hours going through these adventures, how he knocked an orc's head off with the boar club and fight with a white, taking his entire hand off again with a blow, and that's just he's sort of first standing, then sort of sitting down and sort of resting as his eyes get a little shallow and he sweats a little bit as he's not looking good.
Ted will attempt, after he's been a bit bolstered, he will attempt a healing roll to see if he can help speed up the healing process.
Yeah, go ahead. I love that. So Bilbo will take the banner off you then and kind of lay it on the side as you regale all these tales to him. And Bilbo says, well, you'll have to start your own book soon, Falco. Your list of deeds are getting almost as great as mine. Sigmar, do you hear him? I guess he might kill a dragon just like you and your kin if he carries on.
Oh, that would be a sight to see.
Unfortunately, I don't help, sorry.
A sight to see it would. You can learn quite a lot of swordplay from my good friend Sigmar here, Falco.
Yes, well, it's going to need it as I now hold the Sword of Kings from some old ancient kingdom. I sort of hold this sort of weird blade that's cold to the touch and sort of frosting a little bit.
Yeah, and everyone can see that Falco kind of unsheaths this magical-looking sword of an ancient design. Unfortunately, Sigmar, this has nothing really to do with your people, because you're a barding. This is more to do with Rangers of the North. But you're still impressed, Sigmar. It's definitely a very special-looking sword. As you wonder where on earth the Hobbit got that from. But there you go.
You don't hear of hobbits having great swashbuckling adventures.
And last but not least then, Mad Nibs Not Wise. What do you do over the next couple of hours to prepare for the adventure at hand?
Well, knowing the company that he's keeping, particularly Folko and his mad lust for glory, he's going to go and just walk around the edges of the woods of Farmer Maggot's farm and look for some more kind of healing herbs and things to make poultices and whatever he can to keep these folks alive on their next adventure.
Oh, that's fantastic. I think you can go ahead then and you can do maybe like a roll for that then, Nibs. Maybe like a scan or like an awareness or a travel, something to, or maybe even a healing to try and identify some things that you might be able to use.
Okay,
you
great.
Head off out into the wild a little bit.
Okay, let's see. I guess, yeah, healing or awareness, maybe.
Yeah, it's up to you, my friend. I'm not fussed.
Let's go for it.
Oh, well done, Nibs. You managed to come across
Oh, thank
some. Yeah, you managed to come across some rare King's foil. You can add that to your equipment, and I'll let you use it for an extra bonus dice on a healing test. But after that, it'll be gone. So yeah, it's quite rare. It normally grows in the ruins up north, but occasionally some wind does blow the seeds down this way, and you've got very lucky as you kind of take out your little herbalist knife and chop it off and very neatly and carefully put it in your pack. That'll come in handy.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Okay. Well then, nighttime doeseth come. And as we're all ready for our adventure, the sun begins to set over the East Farthing in the Shire. And it's time for you guys to head out and see if you can put an end to this wag.
Have we taken like a short or long rest? This counts as.
Yeah, we can. I guess it'll count as a short rest. So that'd be like your endurance, essentially. I think.
Yeah, I'm just looking because I've got 2 fatigue at the moment.
Oh right, yeah. Get rid of that fatigued.
That should be. Is that 0 then? Yeah.
Yeah, I think a short rest does reset it. I think you're good to go. Okay.
It's weird when I do it. One Fogo should be worried, but like. Alt thing then.
Yeah, I don't think you should be wary, should you? You've got more endurance than you load, so don't know what's going on there.
After a short rest, does not recover any endurance. Okay. Must be a long rest then to recover endurance.
I still have.
I'm full endurance anyway, so I'm guessing it's fatigue. I'll just 0 out. There you go.
Yeah, no worries, you can do that. Sorry, who else was speaking there?
Oh, that was Nibs. Just I noticed I did a short rest. I still have the fatigue.
Yeah, okay, just go ahead and scrap that fatigue manually then, if you've still got it.
I think I should still be miserable, even though I gained the hope because I've got the shadow point. Maybe is the reason I'm miserable.
No,
I don't
you
know.
shouldn't be. No, you shouldn't be. As long as you've got more hope than temporary shadow points, you shouldn't be miserable.
Okay, cool. Well, I don't know. No, so they're not temporary. It's a shadow scar because my temporary shadow points was like 4 because I got hit for 1 and then I got hit by the wraith for 3. The white for 3. So that's the reason why I converted it because I was already like 45% of the way to getting really bad stuff.
Fair enough then. I mean, we'll just kind of go with what Foundry says for now then. So if it says you should be miserable, I guess it might know what it's talking about, and we'll give it a proper look into soon.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll have a Google. Well, I'll have a look.
Yeah.
Whilst we're doing that.
Okay. Well then, our heroes then grab your pack, your equipment, and you head off out then on the old Hobbit trail, heading over to Buckland. So it's not really a long walk. We don't really need to do a hobbit roll. But one thing we do need to do while we're kind of walking around, slinking through the village of Buckland, getting to the ferry. If everyone can just do an awareness roll. So open up that character sheet, click on awareness, and click on roll for me, and we'll see what you guys come up with. Oh, and of course, very sadly, there's a little bit of rain that begins to kick off as well, which is a bit of a bad omen in the Shire, so people say and think.
Awareness, sorry. Oof.
Oh
Jesus.
dear! I guess we've just got Nibs, the ever so present Nibs. Then, so Nibs, I guess your character's a little bit on edge. It seems the prospect of going to fight this wag seem a little bit out there for you, maybe. And Nibs, as we're kind of walking through the town, you do see a pair of red eyes here and there. Once behind a fence, another time obscured by a row of hedges, and again slipping behind a small house. Every time you kind of point it out to your companions, I'm afraid when they look, it's already gone.
Does it look, do these red eyes, they look like animal, human?
It looks to be belonging to the same wolf you saw on that fated night.
These red eyes I'm seeing look to be like they belong to the same wolf I saw on that fated night.
How much of that king's leaf have you been smoking?
You don't smoke king's leaf, elf. Wouldn't see show how much you.
I wasn't really
Elf is
paying
supposed to
attention
be
when
good.
it came to the healing, to be honest with you. Like, you know.
Well, obviously you weren't. I just assumed you folk all had a natural understanding of plants and their healing properties, but I suppose not. Well, I'll tell you that the king's foil has to be treated very carefully. Can't put too much hot water on it, just to draw out its very delicate healing properties. But it's quite a powerful medicine. But you don't
Uh,
smoke.
that's all
You've got me.
brilliant. But you did say that there was a really dangerous creature that you just saw?
I'm surprised you didn't see that either, Elf, with your keen eyes. There's some type of red-eyed creature seems to be just a few steps ahead of us, but I can't quite seem to get a good fix on him. You haven't seen anything unusual?
Nope. Well, I mean, I actually haven't, so no. Unless you wanted me to make me a scan roll or something. I've not seen anything.
No,
Well,
I don't think
I
so.
I
You never did a
recommend you all
roll.
be on our
Oh, carry
guard.
on, Nibs.
Did you hear that?
I'm assuming I heard that.
Everyone heard that. Yeah, you don't need a roll to hear that.
Okay, so I can draw an arrow.
He seems to be coming from a little over yonder, towards Buckland. Everyone starts to get an uneasy feeling, like they're being watched. Like a rabbit being watched by a fox before it takes a plunge. Some of us draw our weapons, some of us get a little worried.
And approach.
Okay. Well, you've got to cross the ferry. As you guys get to the Brandywine, and we all know what Brandywine looks like from the films. Of course, this is kind of my own rendition of it from Flowscape. And as you can see, you know you guys kind of, it's a little pull one. You know that you kind of pull with a rope across. You all one by one get on it. Ted and Sigma, you kind of have to both stand at each end, as it was only made for hobbits, and the three hobbits have to stand in the middle to kind of balance it out. As slowly you draw your way across the Brandywine Bridge, still having this uneasy feeling, as it was. We kind of get to the other side without too much trouble, and you can see up ahead the big wall that kind of surrounds Brandybuck. Not that it does much good, obviously. There's not many menaces in the Shire, you hope. As you make your way up to Brandy Hall to hopefully kind of get a bead or at least speak to someone about what's going on. When suddenly the tension is released permanently, interrupted, you all see a pair of red eyes coming up from a ditch along the western side of the wall. It may have once been a dog, or it may have once been a wolf. You're not too sure. but its fur is burnt and stiff, the colour of cold ashes. Fiery eyes gleam in the night as it prowls towards you, never flinching. Its predatory confidence, you see, grows with each step. Never once does it make a sound, not even its footfalls. Nearly as tall as a man, and definitely taller than a hobbit. At the shoulders, its silent snarl reveals white fangs, stained pink, as it breaks into a charge and a howl towards the group. So yeah, we can all see then this wolf as it darts down from the hill towards the ferry to snatch one of you up. And we can all we all get to do a volley, as we're all obviously on edge and we could see the wolf coming. So a volley is kind of like the opening round of combat, and it just means everyone can do a bow roll. So if you open your character sheet, scroll down to your war gear, you'll see your bow. Click on that bow and do me a roll as you all pew 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 pling off arrows towards the terrible dreaded creature. Oh, Ted! There you go.
That's an automatic piercing, I think, isn't it?
It is, my friend.
So
And two
yeah,
successes as well.
Yeah, so I'm gonna probably pump that up a bit.
Yeah, go for it. I love that. Oh, Egamir, I'm afraid you've got a lot to learn, I guess, as your arrow falls a little short of the target.
My hands are shaking because I've never seen something like this.
It makes sense. It makes sense as you probably release a little bit prematurely at the sight of this horrible monster. Oh, Nibs, I'm afraid you go a little wide as well. And then Sigmar and Falco.
Falco doesn't have a bow.
Oh,
You still
don't
get to
have a bow,
throw something, I think. You could throw like a spear or something like that. Or a dagger.
I don't have those.
Yeah, I don't think he has. And look at his sheet now. He has nothing. Nothing with ranged. Sadly. Sorry, Sigmar. Did you have a question?
I'm getting. You need to select a token that is included in the combat tracker.
Yeah, I think that's because if you just do me like a bow roll, so I guess maybe not click on the weapon, but just click on the bow skill that's slightly above it. Sorry, it's a bit weird, this system.
Right.
So like it won't let you click the war gear unless it's on the combat tracker.
Okay, and there's no modifiers or anything?
No, my friend. There's no short range bonuses in this game. Oh,
No.
Sigmar, you also miss. What's your reason for missing?
I'm terrified. Absolutely terrified. If it was a small dragon, I'd probably be a bit more confident.
Fair enough. If it was one of Smag's children, maybe, but I'm afraid this is... there was an army of you at Dale all those years ago. This is slightly different. Well, luckily, everyone, the elf, unsurprisingly, does not only a shot, but an absolutely incredible shot. As I believe, Ted, you hit it for not only a piercing blow, but you hit it for 24 damage as well, 24 endurance. So that's insane. So Ted, you get a perfect blow right into its neck as the arrow sinks deep. Horrible black blood spits across the ground. And Ted, you've killed wargs like that before. They easily go down. But this one almost looks to be unaffected. It howls in pain and rages, and quickly understanding that it's a little outnumbered and you guys have seen it, it rushes back over the hill. And
Ted's definitely taking another pop at it. It's like, you know, if it, I mean, maybe before he can maybe get the arrow away, but he doesn't want that to escape if he can help it.
yeah, you can do another roll, I guess, just for fun, see what happens. As it quickly takes tail over the hill to get away from you guys. Some of you shaking and terrified, trying to put arrows into your bows. Oh,
Yeah, that
Ted,
didn't
I
work.
think it got away. Yeah, it just got out of sight before you could take another shot, sadly. But Ted, you are very curious now. That warg did not look right. It looked almost ghostly. As that arrow should have definitely felled a normal creature for sure.
Ted's going to
Scuttles
look
off
to
back over the hill.
Sigmar because again he likes the hobbits, but you know they've never left the Shire. So Ted's going to turn to Sigmar and be like, "That was a clean hit. My eyes didn't deceive me."
No, that arrow flew straight and true.
I,
Not foul play.
that should have failed a normal warg. And Ted kind of like for the first time starts like trying to rethink like what everyone was saying back at the house, and he's like now kind of like actually paying attention to like the stories and the things that are happening because it's sort of becoming a bit true.
Are there magic wargs that you've
I
ever
don't-
encountered?
Not that I've ever encountered, but I mean, there's tales of all sorts. Some, I believe, are pure myth and legend, but I mean, I thought that was pure mythos and legend and embellishment by your folk, but it appears that your kin are more eagle-eyed than I gave them credit for, and, well, next time I'll be sure to put 2 in it just to make sure.
Okay. Well, we've got a glimpse of the beast then that we're fighting. It's very fast, very agile. Seems to have much more endurance than a normal warg. I guess you need to find out where it's nesting. Hopefully, maybe someone in Buckland will be able to point you in the right place. And it's been terrorising Buckland as well, as our characters continue their journey on to Brandy Hall. Bows and weapons still drawn, but you feel a little safer as you go through the main walls of Buckland, at least, closing the gates behind you. Although I think Sigmar and Ted knows the warg would easily scale it. The hobbits at least feel a little sense of safeness. As you guys begin to head into Buckland, there's a bounder begins to head over to the group, lantern in hand on this terrible, windy, cold, rainy night, as he trudges along in the mud towards the group. Oi! Oi! Stop right there! He shines a lantern on all 5 of you. There's strange things about this night. What are you all doing in Buckland?
Do I recognize this guy? Do I know who this is?
Yeah, this is a bounder that you know from Buckland Nibs. You kind of see him occasionally on your round.
Okay.
We'll call him Odo, we'll say.
Okay. I'm gonna give him like the bounder's hand signal, or bounder's call.
Okay. He relaxes a little bit and puts his crudgel away. Not that it'd have done much good for you guys, but he still seems quite resilient. He kind of holds the lantern up further towards you, Nibs, and has a good squint. And then he looks up at Ted and Falco and the other 2 new members of the group. Well, if it isn't mad Nibs not wise.
Ted's still got an arrow
causes-
knocked, by the way. Like, Ted is still very much like he's waiting to get ambushed at this point, because he's like, they have nothing that can take this thing on if it just survives that. So he is now like arrow not drawn, but definitely like on the bowstring against the bow staff, just like constantly scanning the horizon, looking for threats.
Fantastic. Yeah, as long as you're not looking
I
intimidating to the
don't blame
hobbit.
you for being a bit. I don't blame you for being a bit skittish there, Godor. It's there's a warg about, and we've just seen him not but 2 minutes ago. The elf there took a good shot at him, but he's still about.
What, you saw the beast? Beast of Buckland?
Is that what you're calling it? Yeah, we saw him, red eyes and all. He's terrifying. You're doing a good job. You might want to put a couple extra bounders out tonight.
Oh, we've got a couple of bounders. One at every gate. There's usually just one of us. There's 4 of us out tonight. It's been dreadful, Nibs, to tell you the truth.
I can believe.
He looks up at Ted
Have
and
you not got a
Sigmar.
bow? That
No,
cutter won't be
no.
doing you much good against a warg, I can tell you.
He looks a little embarrassed. Maybe you're right. Maybe I should get something a little better. Maybe a pitchfork, something like that.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're thinking, and probably light a few extra torches. Good man. Go on now and tell the others. The beast is close by.
Oh, I don't like this, Nibs. It's normally quite quiet, isn't it?
Oh, I'm afraid those days may be long gone. We have to keep our wits about us and take care of one another.
Right, well, if you've seen it, you better come and talk to Mayor Gorbek. And Mayor Gorbek is the mayor of Brandy Hall. He got some quite disturbing news last night himself. Come along, I'll escort you up. So, following Odo then, Odo the Watchman leads you up the road to the main entrance of the grand Hobbit Hall that is Brandy Hall. Much to your surprise, given the time of night, you see none other than the Master of Buckland himself, Gorbert Brandybuck, pacing up and down the front walk, pipe clenched in his teeth and leaning on a heavy wooden cudgel. He looks up at the light of Bardot lantern and smiles. Oh, glad to see you all. As the old mayor walks towards the party. Ah, Nibs, Folko, Egamir, I see you brought some backup. As he looks up at the two tallings.
That we have. We just saw the beast not but 2 minutes ago. He's very close by.
Oh, was anybody injured? Are you all okay?
We're all right. The elf here got a good shot on him, but he's a massive and fast.
It didn't seem to hurt him at all. Have you had the same experience?
We haven't managed to hurt him ourselves yet, I'm afraid.
Have you tried hunting him or attacking him?
Well, he gave Rollo Boffin quite a fright yesterday at Newsbury, taking some of his livestock. But Boffin didn't want to go out. I don't blame him, to be honest. And from what we've heard, Farmer Maggot, he's also been experiencing some trouble as well with the creature. I don't understand how it's getting around so fast, how it could have gotten up and down the Brandybuck that quickly. It's almost like it can be in two places at once, if you get my meaning. It's unnatural.
Or maybe there's more than one.
Oh, the bounder and the mayor look at each other as a shudder goes down the spine. What? You think, Nibs, more than one?
I don't know, but they do travel in packs, don't they?
Well, this is dreadful business. Absolutely dreadful business. Just before you got here as well. Well, you better come and speak to Rollo anyway. He's just inside. He's still quite shaken up. Come on, follow me. And Mayor Gorbak sends the bounder back down to the gate to kind of keep an eye out. And Mayor Gorbak takes you inside Brandy Hall and sits you all down as you try and uncover what's going on.
As the bounder goes to leave, Ted will just kind of put his hand on his sort of shoulder, somewhat away from the group. Ted will make sure he's the last person in, and we'll just say, "If you see the warg, make as much noise as you can and run here. I'll do my best to try and make it to you. Do not try and take that thing on your own." Kind of nod to him, and then again take a quick scan of the nearby area before entering the house.
Yeah. Your keen elf eyes sadly pick up nothing, but an easy unsense still lingers over you, Ted, as you know that whatever this creature is, or creatures, it or them are close. As we head inside Brandybuck Hall, our tall characters bend down as always and grab a chair as the mayor leads you inside, and you see Rollo Boffin. Our hobbits probably know Rollo. He has a small farm. Oh, Egger, it's good to see you, my friend.
The mayor said you had an encounter with this creature. Can you tell us anything?
Oh, and he looks very worried. He's shaken. He's still shaking a little bit. He's got his pipe, but you see the pipe's not really doing too much. Cold sweat runs down the old hobbit's head as he looks at the group, pretty terrified, to be honest. Hi, just about an hour ago, maybe two. I don't know. I lost a little bit of track of time. He ran here as soon as I could. You know, me farm, Crick Hollow, on the edge of the old woods. Oh, I was in bed, I was. I heard some scratching at the window, and I opened my window, and there it was, growling, 2-3 inches away from my face. It hit the glass. I thought it was going to break. I locked all my doors and I hid under the bed. I heard all my sheep outside. Dreadful it was, the noises, the crunching. Oh, I can't get it out of my head. As he takes some of the brandy on the table and puts it to his mouth with a shaking hand before putting it back down on the table as a little bit spills over. It was terrible, it was. I just can't get those burning red eyes out of my head. I think it might have come from more than my sheep. He knew I was in there. He could sense me in there. All right, Boffin. Calm down. It's all right. These good people are here to help, aren't you, fellas?
Yes, sir.
Does Ted know that like he hurt that thing and it ran away? Like he actually did make impact. Like, you know.
Yeah. You are honestly, Ted. You are absolutely convinced your arrow smashed into the creature's neck.
No, but it's in like it looked like it really hurt him. It wasn't a case of like he just chopped it off, if that makes sense.
It didn't look like it hurt him majorly. No, it seemed it fled because it was outnumbered, and it uses like hunting tactics. You know, it wouldn't have, even though it probably could have fought you all. It's just not how the creature's mind operates as it was. You know, he'd rather smash and grab than have a prolonged fight. But Ted, you know, it definitely seemed to shake the blow off a lot easier than a normal warg.
Yeah, so Ted's gonna just kind of murmur, like, you know, well, if these things will even do anything to it, looking at like his arrows and stuff, just yeah.
I'll ask the mayor, has the creature ever come inside the town, or is it only out at farms and things like that?
Not that we've seen, good Egger. Not that we've seen. Luckily, it hasn't got inside the walls yet. It's been terrorising farms so far, it seems. But it's been spotted everywhere, from here to Hobbiton. Although it seems it's more in Brandybuck than anywhere else. He gets around so quick. We're not sure how he's doing it. Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared to go home, I am. I don't even want to leave. And one of our characters could attempt an awe roll, or an enhearten roll, to try and calm him down. I think Sigmar, you're the best at that. So Sigmar, if you'd want to do me an enhearten and try and calm the hobbit down, what would you say to him?
So look, we're here now. We've experienced in fighting all manner of strange creatures. We're not going to leave you until this thing's dealt with.
Okay. Oh, well done.
Yeah.
He nods his head as he looks up at the strong, rugged man. All right, then. It's nice to know you're all behind me. I think I might be able to go back home and maybe show you where it went. we can poke around the farm and just see exactly where the trail could lead.
I sort of wide-eyed look to the two tallings and say, "What do we do? Do we just go out there and meet it?"
Well, either we meet it or it meets us, and I'd certainly rather take it on our terms rather than its.
Well, no point cowering in one house while it's picking off the rest of the inhabitants of the town. We can at least find out where it is. Might give us an advantage.
Alright, well, if you say so then, I'm not going to be scared away from my own home. Whenever you're ready to set out, but I advise you have a drink. I advise you have a drink. And the old hobbit quickly pours himself another brandy as he offers to pour you all one as well.
None for me, thanks.
Okay. Well, I guess then let's kind of just run into our characters' heads then for a moment. The old hobbit then kind of gets ready to head out, grabbing his coat, his walking stick, finishing a third brandy as it burns his throat and begins to head out of the door. Falco, what's kind of running through your head? Are you ready for another challenge, Falco? As you kind of limp on your leg?
Yeah, sort of haze of his mind as he tries not to sort of fall asleep. He'll definitely, yeah. He has the Blade of Kings. He's definitely going to do something, I think. So, something, yeah, definitely. Go kill that dragon.
Excellent. What about you, Nibs? You've been dragged into another harebrained scheme. How do you feel?
I think that Nibs is he doesn't really have a choice. I think he's got to help these hobbits. They're the neighbors down in Buckland, and obviously it's more than they can handle. He's maybe feeling a bit more confident now that he's been in some adventures with these strangers, but it's still pretty harrowing. So I think when nobody's looking, I think he takes a little nip from the brandy bottle as well for his own courage.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Okay, what about you there, Egger? You've been hunting in the Shire for a while on the outskirts, and you've never seen anything like this before. Just heard tales. Are you feeling confident?
Eggermeyer doesn't know any better, so he sort of puffs up his chest and says, "I'm ready for whatever it is. I've been waiting for this my whole life."
Ah, I love it. Okay, confident, ready for adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Another foolhardy hobbit to join our ranks.
But some of it's just pretend for the other hobbits.
That's awesome. Okay then, Sigmar, as you kind of get out of the get out of the town hall and stretch your back again, are you feeling confident?
I'm a bit surprised and a little ashamed that it took me and shocked me and scared me so much the first time. I'm not going to let it take me by surprise again. I'm determined to get this thing.
Excellent. Excellent. And Ted, you get the impression it's going to take a dozen arrows to fell this thing at least, maybe more. What's kind of running through your mind? You think you and your party are up to it?
No, but that's what we're here for. So, if we can't do it, then the folk here stand absolutely no chance whatsoever. So, might as well give it our, good old college try before we completely abandon these people to their fate.
Okay, excellent. Well then, you all head off back out. So this is where we were at, Brandy Hall. You follow the very scared Rollo Boffin up through the town to his Crick Hollow farm, right at the edge of the old wood. And as you're walking along, any kind of any kind of twig that snaps, any kind of ambient noise. Poor Boffin is shaking in his boots, looking left and right, absolutely terrified, as you all still have this sense of dread and uneasiness kind of washing over you. Something is very, very wrong in Buckland. This is no normal wag. And what has brought this thing here, what foul purpose it really has, I guess we're yet to find out as we arrive at Crick Hollow. It's only a small farm, 3 or 4 buildings. It's not as grand as Banff for long, that's for sure. But it's still very, very nice as Rollo kind of brings you back to his home, and you all begin to have a look and see what you can find. So everyone, as you begin to have a look around, then everyone needs to go ahead and do a scan roll, if that's okay.
Can I do a hunting or awareness roll, or is it got to be scan?
I'll let you substitute a hunting, but I don't think awareness is appropriate for this.
Okay.
I was going to try hunting as well. Is that okay?
Sure, yeah, my friend. All good. Okay, it just looks like Sigmar then is the only person that hasn't really spotted anything. I guess Sigmar's too busy just kind of looking at the surroundings, making sure you guys don't get ambushed. The rest of you begin to kind of look around the property and see what you can find. And you've all kind of got successful rolls then, as I guess we maybe stay in pairs as we kind of go around the property. And he was definitely telling the truth. Egger, you find some huge wolf tracks. Definitely belong to the beast, that's for sure. Kind of dug into the ground, and it's tore off the fence that keeps the sheep in, and it's got inside. And you come across a horrible sheep corpse that's been torn ragged, and a blood trail that kind of leads to nowhere. Nibs, you see all the flowers that are trodden next to the window. The beast was definitely looking up through, trying to get in. Folko, I think you find something more disturbing than everyone. Folko, as you kind of go around the back, you see gouge marks in the door to his hobbit home. The beast was actually trying to get into his house, trying to break the door down. Even though there were sheep, he feels like he wanted a taste for old Rollo himself. And Ted, you see a trail, a small trail of wolf paws leading to the eastern end of the property that appears to dip and run into a haystack itself.
Okay, Ted's 100% putting an arrow dead center of that haystack. He will kind of like hand signal and like point to to his eyes, and then looking at the haystack and point to the tracks, so that everyone at least is aware before he just takes on this thing on his own. But he's making sure everyone's aware about what he's about to do. But yeah, he then plants one dead center, or at least not dead center because that might go above the wall. You know what I mean, like center of the bottom third.
And as he does that, I pull out my spear because I'm gonna. As soon as he does that, I'll jab my spear in.
Okay. Well then, as Ted, you kind of bring up your bow to shoot the haystack, and you also kind of go forward with your spear, Egger, and you all get the dread sense that the creature is here. And just as you're about to shoot, Ted, the creature leaps from behind the haystack and actually lunges towards the nearest player hero, ready to do an attack. So it says in the book that it would have ambushed you if you hadn't have spotted where it was, which you did, Ted, so that's absolutely fantastic. So it's not going to ambush you, but I'm afraid there's no time for a volley, as it just says he attacks the nearest person. I'm afraid, by the sounds of it, that probably sounds like Egger.
Help me! Do I have time to Do I have time to try to stick my spear in it?
I think so. Yeah, the player heroes would get to attack first, but it's not really a proper combat. It's more of a narrative one. So I think it kind of happens as the rest of the characters are kind of making their way over. Edgar, you kind of got your spear towards the creature, and then Ted, you just shoot it again. So Ted, do me a bow roll, and Edgar, do me a spear roll to try and fight the monster off. And I guess the rest of our other characters can also do a ranged roll as well. So Nibs and Sigma.
By bloody one. Oh, two. Okay, fair enough. By two.
I take a deep breath to steady my nerves, and then.
Oh no, Edgar! I get your deep breaths not enough.
Really well.
Ted, one thing you do notice, Ted, is that this wag has no arrow in its neck.
Awesome.
And I'm afraid, Sigma, your arrow also goes completely wide as well. I guess you're not as confident as you think you are. But Nibs, good old Nibs, you can rely on Nibs. Gets a bow off into the wag, into his right paw. But I am afraid it is going to do one attack before it flees this time. Just trying to snatch Edgar up for a quick meal and take him off into the forest before he departs. Let's see if he can pull it off. This is going to annoy me. I kind of have to put you both on the combat tracker to get the bloody thing to work. Okay. Here we go. Right then. Okay then. Good luck, Egermeyer. Takes a bite. Oh no! It's a great success. Oh no! Oh. A horrible bite, I'm afraid. And I'm going to do a heavy blow. Ooh, no. I can add 2 to my feat dice. And I can do a piercing blow instead. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. So, you take then, in total then, my friend, you take your endurance goes down. It does 5 damage to you. So your endurance goes down to 17, as I'm afraid it does snap at you a little bit. But sadly, it does do a piercing roll. So its fangs grab you around the body, Edgar, digging deep into your leather armour. And hopefully your leather armour saves your life. If not, you could be in real trouble. And I want you to go ahead to go to your character sheet and click on your armour. So if you bring up your character sheet and then you kind of scroll down, you'll see parry and armour. Yeah? Just click on the armour and do me a roll, please.
On the armor one is grayed out. Is that one I should be able to click on?
No, yeah, the actual word, not the little grey box.
Oh, I see. I got it.
No, it's all right. Mate. It's your first time. You're doing very well.
Here we go. Ah.
Oh.
Oh so no! Help me!
It picks you up in its mouth, and it shakes you like a rag doll. You all watch as the wolf savages the hobbit. But then Nibs' arrow luckily flies into the wolf's paw, making it drop the hobbit as it quickly descends back over the fence and into Woody End Forest. Well, that's definitely not good. So we have to roll and see how wounded you actually are. You might be lucky, and you might be really bad. So let's see. So we have to roll on the wound severity table. I'm going to go ahead and do that for you. So let's do a roll. An 11. An 11 is...
That's horrible. Horrible.
It's 11 days.
Oh, it's the worst one, isn't it? It's a grievous injury. So you are knocked unconscious, Edemir, as it shakes and crushes your body. You go to 0 endurance as it throws you into the wall, and you are now dying, as if wounded twice. You all watch in absolute horror as poor Edgar hasn't even been with us that long, and he's been savaged by this terrible creature. He's not dead yet. You can still see ragged breaths coming from him. Someone needs to go over and quickly administer a heal test and see if they can
I'll
save
say
Edgar's life.
Ted is going to assist Nibs in this.
All right. And
Okay, Nibs.
yeah, so Nibs is gonna run over, and he's gonna run over with Ted next to him. He's like, "You see, this is why I picked the King's foil. Exactly. And I'll show you."
Yeah, okay. Let's talking more saving the Hobbit's life. Yeah, let's
More king
prioritize.
spoiling.
Take it easy there, Egg. Just
You get an extra 2d6.
so I can put two. So I put two dice.
Yep, an extra 2 bonus dice because you're getting assisted. You've got your King's foil. You and the elf are kind of stood over the Hobbit. Egger, you're on the ground. Your vision is kind of going black as the two characters quickly rush over to you. What's kind of going through Egger's mind right now?
I'm gonna put.
Is this what adventures are like? Is this what
Excellent.
happens?
All right. I think I've done this right. I'm putting a hope, support from a companion, and 1 bonus die.
Yeah.
Okay, hang in there, Egg.
No.
Hey! An extraordinary success! That's fantastic! Well done! Okay, so Egger, very quickly then, Nibs and the elf come over. You cut your shirt open as it reveals your ragged wound. Nibs quickly applies the King's foil and wraps a bandage around you best he can. And he saves your life, Egger. As your breathing becomes less ragged, you go from a dying state to just a wounded state.
Thank you, Nibs.
So you're not dead yet.
So yeah, you come back with 1 endurance.
I'll stick to the back.
Nibs is gonna whisper to Edgar. It's like, "This is what adventures are like. Are you sure you want to do this?"
Why did we leave the house?
I know.
But the good thing is, each success, so you get a day off, right? So he's got at least 3 days off his wound.
Yeah. So it's not. It could have been worse. At least. Well, it couldn't have been.
Thank you, Nibs.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, well, they can help you back to your feet then, but you're definitely not 100% Egger. And Egger, I know it's like your first time playing. I am sorry that happened. That was the worst possible scenario, basically. When you're wounded, you roll a d12, and if you roll the Eye of Sauron, it means you like instantly go down, and that's what happened to you. So it was a 1 in 12 chance that had happened. So you just got really unlucky. So I do apologise for that.
No worries.
Well, Rollo Boffin, he's run inside his house and he's looking at you guys out the window. He's absolutely petrified. Well, go on then, get after it! Get after it!
Can't let it escape as Foco will sort of slowly jog after it.
Okay, we'll give chase.
Give chase. Okay. So, you quickly begin to follow the tracks then that the beast leaves, and you find yourself on the edge of the old forest. Countless tales are told about the old forest from Buckland and beyond, about the strange affairs of this untamed wild. To your surprise, the forest itself does not immediately leap out and attack you as soon as you step into the bent woods. Instead, a thin collection of trees, bent and gnarled, surrounds you. Just out of reach, their branches not quite touching you. A wide, almost natural path opens up as you guys follow it into the old woods. Oh my! Okay, let me go and stick the map on and change the song. Okay. Oh boy. The rain gets a little heavier and the wind picks up as you head into the forest. You find yourself walking through, almost clinging to the trees, trying to find out where this horrible beast went. Egger's already had a dance with death. Hopefully the rest of us can come off unscathed as we continue to pass through this ancient place. The trees here are taller than any trees you've seen before. I mean, Ted, for you it's nothing special, but for the rest of our characters it certainly is, and especially for our hobbits, as this marks the end of the Shire. Each step you take is farther than you've been from home so far, as you continue to walk through the ancient forest, trying to track the beast. And the beast is hard to track in the dense trees. Roots sticking up from the ground, dipping back down again, grow freely. There is little in a way of a path, and as the ground continues a slow ascent, and the sense that you are an unwanted visitor and are being watched grows in your mind. In this wild and twisted place, it's clear that the burnt beast will have the advantage, and your hunt will become more difficult. Everyone's allowed to do a lore roll to find out a bit more about the Old Forest.
I do love how not one of us took lore as a preferred thing.
I have 1 point in lore.
No, I mean as preferred. Like, loads of quite a few of us got like 1 or 2 points, but none of us were like, yeah, let's make that like a key thing of our character.
Okay, so who have we got that's passed? I think we're just waiting for Folko. But
Folko, nobody tells Folko nothing.
I love that, Folko.
See, Nib.
Okay,
Nibs
well,
fucking
Nibs.
Yeah, steaming away.
Well then, Nibs, you've heard a tale, and it was back in the old days that the forest is actually alive and actively dislikes visitors, to the point that people get lost here, go missing. It's a very bad place to come. The trees themselves move and obstruct travellers with twisting roots and tangling branches. The old forest once itself moved to try and attack the Shire, believe it or not, and take over. A few generations ago, back in the days of the old Took, the hobbits actually had to band together and chop and hack the forest back. And now the old forest has sat here ever since. There's always rumours and tales that one day it's going to come back to the Shire. For you, Ted, you know that this was one of the first forests the elves spoke to and woke up and taught the language of speech. And that's why they're so malevolent, because they've been, almost as old as the elves. They've seen everything at its fall through the first and second age of Middle-earth. They've seen how horrible humans and orcs are as they chop and hack the branches, and obviously they don't like hobbits either, maybe misunderstanding them. There's also a rumour that this forest is full of ancient spirits, of elves lost long ago, or have chosen to dwell here rather than go back. And far more ancient and evil spirits are said to lurk here as well. So be on your guard as you pass through. The other characters don't really know much, you just get a sense of uneasiness pass over you as you walk through, trying to catch up to your prey. Okay, I guess we're all keeping ourselves to ourselves then as we continue to pass through.
Well, I mean, Ted obviously would have said pretty much exactly that to the group, just being like, be careful, mind your step. Like, these woods aren't necessarily what they seem.
So do the tracks go off into the woods?
They do. The tracks go into the woods and they become very hard to follow. If our characters want to continue to pick up the trail of the wolves, you must make an explore roll. Hang on a minute. So there is so no character can both be okay. So yeah, so you can everyone can do a roll then. You can make an explore roll, or you can make a hunting roll, and we need 3 successes on each one in total from the group. So everyone go ahead and do an explore or a hunt, and we'll see what happens here. Oh my goodness me! Well, I was looking forward to doing a random encounter here, but it seems, yeah, because you roll a d12 and lots of cool things can happen in the woods. But you guys have instantly picked up the trail. I'm not going to take that away from you guys. Well done. That was some excellent rolls. Apart from, I guess, Egger, which is very understandable as he's.
Sorry, I'm just holding my side and trying to keep up with the tall folk.
It makes sense, my friend. As the rest of our heroes quickly pick up the trail as you come through the old woods.
Don't leave me behind.
No, as I Ted will be rear guarding last man. Like he'll be making sure that, like, you know, he is always between himself and Egamir. So it's a case of, like, you know, if they're going to get left behind, both of them are getting left behind. You know, if that makes sense. He's not letting him be at the back of the group.
Sigmar will
Thank
take
you.
point then.
Okay. Sigmar taking point.
Falco right after Sigmar.
Falco, have you not learnt your lesson yet?
There's not a lesson to be learned. Sword out, ready to go.
For our people that haven't been here throughout the whole starter set, Falco is his character's always been at the front of the action. That's why he finds himself wounded. He's either very brave or very stupid, or maybe a combination of both. Excellent. Okay, well then, without further ado then, we managed to avoid the trepidness and terribleness of the forest. We managed to pick up the tracks, and with determination, looking for revenge for poor Egamir, we follow the tracks to what we think to be the lair of the beasts. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. We follow the tracks up to this strange natural cave under an old tree. The tree looks gnarled and dead. A face almost seems to be upon it, notched into it as his branches look like grasping hands. A horrible smell comes from the cave, a smell of burning ash and smoke. As we approach the cave, it's, make no mistake, you do hear some growls coming from inside.
So, if I remember rightly, we all have to roll successfully on a stealth check, right, in order to ambush. Correct?
Yeah. If you're attempting to ambush them, everyone has to do a stealth roll and pass.
What's the visibility like in there?
It looks pretty much pitch black, but you can see figures moving as whatever's in there is coming closer to you guys.
So we could hide. It's approaching.
Yeah. So it's either hiding out here or hiding in there, basically, or like stealthing in there. And I agree. I vote for, like, setting up an ambush at the mouth of the cave.
Yep. That sounds like best option.
Yeah, is there a safe space for hobbits?
Yeah, I mean, probably just behind this scene, you know, there's a few trees and raised roots you guys can kind of hide behind as the beasts.
Well, I'll
begin
find
to
a
sally
big root
forth.
and put an arrow on my bow.
Okay. So I'm going to say that 2 people can be ranged in this fight, and 3 people can be you know, melee as it was. As I guess you 5 go to hide and try and ambush the beasts. I mean, the beasts know you're there; they can smell you. But whether they see you or not, and you guys get to get off an ambush, is going to be fantastic. So I guess let's go ahead and do that. Everyone do a stealth roll, and everyone does need to pass to succeed, which is a little rough. But you know, I didn't write the rules. Oh, we might pull it off. Oh, Sigma! Oh, Sigma!
No.
It's just you.
Sigma takes us.
Can't somebody use their 6 to give them a pass?
Yes, so I actually didn't get one, even though I rolled like nuts, and neither did Nibs, but Egamir. Egamir's the only person who actually got a 6 out of all of us.
Okay, well, I'm afraid even if you gave him a 6, it would only be a 15.
Whenever you can turn,
So
I thought you can give a 6 to turn one into a success, isn't it?
Is it a complete success? Because that does seem a little wild if that's the case. I thought it was just adding
cancel
a
a
6 to the
failure.
roll.
If a skill roll involves multiple people, you help another player who failed the roll and is considered a success. In your
Fair
rules
enough.
questions.
We'll play as it's written then. Okay, I guess then the rest of the group have hidden so well, I guess they kind of guide you to stand down a little bit, Sigmar, as your hair kind of sticks over a branch, and you find yourself ducking down out of the way. Beautiful. Okay, so then, so let me just quickly check what ambushing does again. So you can't make an opening volley, which is fine, and you all get to do an attack. Is it just an extra d6 to the first roll? So it's something. Top benefit surprise. Some officers all rolls the guidelines. The company is ambushing enemies. If the company is trying to waylay their enemies, make a stealth roll. Everyone participating must get an excess. If the ambush attempt is successful, the surprised enemies won't be able to make opening volleys nor take actions in the first round of combat. Cool. So it means you guys basically will get 2 attacks in a row then, as these things come out. Fantastic. Well, the 2 beasts do come out and show their faces. And I want you to imagine a scene where you're all hiding as the beasts prowl and kind of sniff you out, you know? Getting low to the ground, looking up, looking at the trees, trying to find you as low growls. And I guess you guys can do an ambush. So, let's go to the combat tracker. Wonderful stuff. Alright. So, no opening volley, but we can begin the combat. So, I guess Sigmar and Egamir, you can stay in... Oh, sorry. Ted and Egamir, you stay in your ranged stances. But Nibs and Sigmar, you have to change your stance. So, to change your stance, if you just right-click on your character, you see on the left-hand side, you see the 2 swords, the axe, the shield, and the bow. So what this means is, because I know some of you are new to the game, the forward stance means that you get one more to attack, but the enemies get 1 more d6 to attack you, as you're not like, you know, as you're fighting more aggressively. The middle one just means it's flat, no bonuses to hit or defend. And the shield means you get minus 1d6 to attack, but you get plus 1d6 to defend as you're in a defensive stance. So Sigmar, how would you want to go about this scene?
Do you choose once at the beginning of the encounter, or can I change each round?
You can change at the beginning of each round.
Let's start with an attack then. Forward.
Okay. Alright then, go ahead then and jump into that stance. I'm going to change the music
So
and then we'll get going.
If we are getting an extra round of attack for the stealth, would we be able to change our stance after this initial attack?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's how it works.
We may as well go forward for the ambush then, you're right now.
Okay.
I've
Well, you
just put the
guys bring the
stances
trap.
in the rules questions, so if you guys want to like know what each one does.
Cool. Thanks.
Oh, thank you very much, Ted. Appreciate that as always. Well done. I'll go ahead and I'll pin them as well,
Right.
just so they're nice and easy to access. Beautiful. Yeah, it's nice when everyone's learning a system together and we can all pick it up.
Yeah.
All right then. Okay. Well, over to the top of the round then. How it works in this game is all the good guys attack, and then the bad guys attack. So the bad guys are going to miss this first round, which means you guys get to attack basically twice in a row, which is awesome. So Sigmar, you charge out, leaping from behind the tree into the first wolf as he looks up with his dead eyes that almost seem to be on fire. Seeing the beast up close for the first time, you can see that his fur, it's black, like it's been burned, and there's a strange ethereal tinge to it. As the wolf howls in your face as you slash down your sword, I wish you the best of luck, my friend.
Okay. On my sword. So I've already got my advantage, have I?
Yeah, it should do
Yeah.
it for you automatically, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, Sigma! I am sorry. As I guess the howl kind of knocks you off guard a little bit, and now you find yourself encircling the wolf. I guess we're going to go over to Falco.
Foco hid up on top of the cave and is jumping down on this one.
Oh, that's so cool. The hobbit jumps down with his sword gleaming through the air.
Are these whites?
No, I'm afraid not.
I'm gonna use a hope and
Oh! Falco. Why is it saying you should be weary?
And I was telling me I should be miserable, and I looked up all the rules, and it's like you were completely correct. I shouldn't have been, so I just went through and
Yeah,
changed
it's
it
saying
manually.
it's saying he's weary because you've got 6 load and you've got 6 endurance. I think you should have more endurance than that, Falco, for sure.
no, I'm wounded. I'm gained nothing from rest.
Oh, you are weary then. That is
But I'm
meant
at-
to be, I'm afraid.
By
Well,
the
no,
way,
I'm at 4 load at 6 endurance, so I'm just above.
I don't
No,
think it
because
adds the
you've
automatic.
got 2 fatigue as well, so your 2 fatigue adds to your load of 4, making it 6.
I don't think it adds the extra dice due to your stance, by the way, because I'm looking at Sigma. He's got +2.
Oh, you're right.
And I imagine that he's
I've got
he's
2
got
in sword.
yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Roll an extra d6 Sigma, and we'll add it to the score, and we can see if we can get at least another 2 points.
Right, am I just rolling a dice on its own?
Yeah, if you just roll roll d6, and we'll add it towards it, and we'll see what you can come up with there. Okay, well that would be a hit then. Fantastic. You don't get any
Thanks.
specials, so you do hit it for. Are you using your sword? Have you got your sword and shield out? Yeah. For
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Okay, 5 damage then. Slashing the beast. Beautiful. So yeah, Falco, back to you. I think you are supposed to be weary then, because I don't think you get your fatigue. Do you get your fatigue back if you rest if you're wounded as well, or? I guess we'll have to very quickly look up a short rest. We'll see, eh? We did click the button though, but you never know. Okay, short rest, page 71. So with a short rest, you recover your endurance points equal to your strength wounded. Short rest. The character sheet first current endurance and the score. It just doesn't say anything about fatigue at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and say you're weary, and we'll just go with the foundry for now, and that's how we'll rule it. So
Okay.
Falco, you jump off then, and I'm afraid, I guess with the weary, it will be a miss. Just will it? Why? Because you've got a Gandalf and a 6. Well, I guess it knows what it's talking about. You've got a 15, just shy. Okay, I guess you kind of stab its tail a little bit, But nothing major, Falco, as you like a little roll and find yourself next to the wolf, ready for combat next turn.
Right, hang on,
Okay,
but do you also roll an extra d6? Because have you got a plus 3
did you
with
not
your
roll your
sword?
extra d6, Nib?
No,
Falco,
that's no, that's it. I got 2 sword plus 1 plus hope.
Cool.
Oh, did you add yours in, yeah? Okay, fair enough.
Yep.
I think it fell, by the way,
Okey-dokey.
because he's doing it at disadvantage, effectively. So that's the reason why I rolled twice and took the lower.
Yeah. Okie doke. Okay, sad times then. We'll go over to you then, Nibs. As I guess you charge into one of the wolves.
All right. Do I use the Bull Roarer club or do I use the Brawling staff?
The Bull Roarer.
Okay. If I click on the Bull Roarer club, it says you need to select a token.
Yeah, so if you see this wolf here, if you double left click or double right click on it, one of the two, you'll be able to target it.
I'm not sure if I've done that, but let's see.
Do you not see little yellow arrows around it, like you've targeted it?
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't seem to want me to target it somehow.
That's very strange. I'm not really sure what's going on there.
Are you double right clicking or just clicking?
Double. But double right click or double left click?
Right click.
That's right.
Oh, there you go. I think you've done it now. There you go, mate. Good job.
Does the
Did I
little
get it?
color, does that correspond to who's got it targeted?
Yeah, so if you look at the
Yeah.
bottom left, you'll see all the players with their own little colours, and then you'll be able to correspond with the colours there.
Okay, great.
Okay, all right. Bull Roarers Club.
The ancient took weapon. As you bring them... Oh! Hey, good job, man! And you got a 6, so you can pick a special thing there as well.
So I can do a heavy blow.
Yep. 8 damage to this beast. Well done. So as Sigmar slashes at it from the side, you whack it with the Bull Roarer's club, knocking one of its fangs loose out of its head as it howls in rage. Well done, Nibs. You have found your courage. Okay.
Fantastic. That little nip of brandy came in handy.
Okay then, Ted, go ahead and do your move.
Sorry, my computer just blue screened to death. Prepare me 2 seconds.
No worries, you want me to do a roll for you if you're booting up, or are you back in?
I should be back in about 30 seconds. So
Okay, we'll go ahead. No, it's okay. We'll do Egma's turn first then, if you don't mind. Maybe
that's
it
good.
doesn't matter
So-
anyway, does it?
Which is the wolf that Nibs hit? The
The one on the right
The one on
here.
the right.
This one seems to be getting ganged up on. Yeah.
okay. Does it show that I'm targeting it now?
It does. Look, I can see a little red dot. So that's good.
Okay,
good to
great.
go. So then, if you just
Sorry,
click
I'm
then
on a Mac, so my clickings don't work quite the same way.
Oh, I've been there.
All right, so I use my bow, right?
Yeah, click on Birdbane. Let's see what you can do with it. Good luck.
And did I ever use my inspire point?
No, you should go ahead and use it now. So
Is
make
now
sure
a
you got
good
your
time?
Inspire selected. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot about that until just this moment. Boom.
All right. Okay. Well, you would have missed it, but you got a Gandalf, which means you automatically hit. Fantastic. And on top of that, you've done a piercing blow, which means the wolf needs to do a protection roll. Fantastic. Okay, I'm afraid I have passed that roll, but you do still deal 3 damage with the bow, smashing into the beast. So this beast has taken 15 damage so far. Oh my goodness. Well done, guys. And then we'd go over to Ted now then. Good luck, Ted.
Perfect. Right. Let's see what I do. Just a straight success with a 7. So I just hit. Nothing special, but I hit. So 3 damage.
Okay, awesome. So this creature's then now has got 2 arrows sticking out of it. One in its paw, one in its neck. It's been stabbed, it's been hit with a hammer. But suspiciously, it still hasn't gone down. And it roars with rage as it goes to snap and attack back. But you guys ambushed it. So, I mean, I sadly get... Well, for me, I sadly get to miss my rolls as we go back to the top of the round. So, if anyone wants to change their combat stance, now is the time. And
I think I'm better off where I am.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You stay back with the elf. So Sigmar, Falco, Nibs has gone defensive. Sigmar and Falco, you're staying in your aggressive stance. As we go to the top of round 2, and we go over to you then, Sigmar, as you try and stab your sword into the creature and put him down once and for all.
So, like, how do I add that dice then?
So if you bring up that roll box,
Yeah.
it's a shame it doesn't do it automatically. But yeah, if you click on the sword and bring it up, and then you see where it says bonus/penalty dice.
Yeah.
It's the one on the right, the one that hasn't got the X going through it. If you just click on one of those and then click roll, it should add that in for you, my friend.
See.
Oh, that was a bad roll, I'm afraid. You rolled a 1 on the feet dice, a 2, 2, and a 3. Sigmar, I'm afraid the wolf thrashes and kind of knocks you down to the ground as you get back to your feet. You're unable to attack. Okay, over to you then, Falco. Let's see, you're fighting this wolf on your own on this side.
Can I change to attack this guy, or no? I'm sort of stuck with him.
No, that's not how it works. Sadly, you have to stay on the one you're engaged with.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. Let's do another hope. And... roll.
Oh, look at that! No 6s, but an incredible hit as you smack the beast for 4 damage. Finding your footing, your ancient sword gleams as the runes on it glitter. As the sword of Andurin, the sword of kings, stabs the creature right in the mouth, going right up into its upper jaw. Again, it snarls back, almost tearing the sword out of your hand as you rip it free. And it looks at you like you are going to be dinner. Well done though, Falco. You're turning the tide. We're going to go over to Nibs then. Nibs, you've got a more of a defensive stance now. Now the surprise is up, and you're fighting the beasts on an even footing as they dance and dart through the group, trying to tear you to pieces, Nibs. You bring up the Bull Roarer Club, finding an opportunity, and smack down.
This wolf on the right is still alive, yeah?
It is, yeah. I mean, definitely if it was a normal wolf, it should be dead, you think to yourself. Let's see if you can take it out.
Can you see if I've targeted it? It doesn't show up on my screen.
Yeah, you have done. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Can you not see the little yellow arrows around it? When you
No,
target him,
that
no?
doesn't pull up to me, but as long as it works, then...
Yeah, no
for it.
problem, my friend. Ooh!
Nope.
You're a little too late as you smash your club into the ground as it darts past. Okay, it's over to Ted then now.
Sorry, 2 seconds. Yep, okay, I can do that. So let's go bows thing. No, is this thing still up? No, let's not spend a hope, otherwise it do become miserable. So still, I did get a 10 though. It's just an automatic pierce.
Yeah, 3 damage and a pierce. Let me go ahead and do the armor roll for this thing. Well done.
14 injury if it succeeds. If it fails.
Oh, 14 injury. Okay, so well, yeah, it means I have to beat the beat that there. So well done. So now we need to roll on the serious wound table for this creature. Or Ted, you normally would. I'm afraid in this circumstance you don't, and you'll understand why soon. As Ted, another arrow smashes into the wolf, going into his eye, putting out the fire, and it definitely should have dropped this time. But still it rages on, and you can almost see the arrow, the shaft goes black, almost like it's been burnt from being shot into the creature's eye. As it gets to the tail of the arrow, it goes up in flames and turns to ash. And Ted, I think that's when it dawns on you that these aren't normal wolves, these are wraiths. These are spirits of wolves long dead. This isn't natural. As we go over to you, Edgar, as you take another shot, trying to outmatch the elf, trying to get it in the other eye. Let's see if you can do it.
Please hold. I was over on PayPal.
Oh, again then, an excellent shot. Another 3 damage that goes right into the wolf's other paw as he buckles and begins to slink back into his little hole. But I'm gonna now finally I get to do my attacks with the 2 beasts, and I think this one here is gonna try and savage Sigmar. Let's see how this goes. Good luck, Sigmar. It goes to give you a bite. What did I get? Okay, so I can't piercing blow you, but I can do a heavy blow. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I deal 10 damage to you, Sigmar, which sends you down to 15 endurance, which now means you're weary as the beast takes a bite. And as we go down to the other beast, this beast here is going to attack Falco. Let's see if he can pull this off. Okay, let's have a look. And 5 damage then, Falco. I don't think that takes you down, does it? Because takes you to 1 endurance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's your max endurance? It should be 18 plus your strength.
It's
so
22.
Sorry, I'll change that back for you. Okay. Well, it becomes glaringly obvious then to the characters that these wolves still have the upper hand. You're unable to take them down even with all your combined might. As the wolves just get angrier and get furiously. This is a fight, you get the impression you're not going to be able to win. When you all hear a voice coming from behind you guys, and a light that begins to shine. As a very strange looking character enters the scene. It's taller than a hobbit, but smaller than a man. He's got yellow boots on and a wonderful blue coat, with a top hat with a blue feather and a big bushy beard. As he comes over to the scene. Hey ho, silly ho! Tramp across the forest. Little creatures underfoot, black dogs are the sorest. Go now, silly dogs, cast away the ire. Hobbits only hope to help. Come now, little dogs, no need to be so dire. And as the dogs look up at whoever this mysterious stranger is and just scatter. They look absolutely petrified as they just break from the combat. They don't even go into their retreat, and they just completely flee into the forest and into the darkness. As some of you are now injured and exhausted, this strange man stands behind you all, and he's just kind of staring. He puts his hand on his hips and he gives a good smile. I'm sure some of you are very confused, to say the least.
Yeah, Ted's just kind of stood there in a bit of like bewilderment, just be like, hmm. He doesn't trust what's just happened. He doesn't know. Would Ted know who this person is? I'm guessing probably not.
You might have heard rumours. I guess because you're not from Rivendell. If you're from Rivendell, you probably would have done. But being from Merc would probably not know. I don't think anyone in this group really kind of knows who this fellow is. Come, my friends, gather near. As he kind of issues you over to him. Sorry, what were you going to say, someone?
In all my wanderings in the woods, have I ever run into him before?
Yeah, we could say you've maybe bumped into this man. I don't think you know anything about him, though. He's just a very strange guy that always prances around and sings. Come, my friends, gather near. Tom Bombnable's voice you shall hear. In the heart of the forest where dreams take flight, I invite you to my house where all is right. No need to worry or fret, for in my dwellings you'll find no threat. Warm hearth and cosy beds, where weariness fades and joy abates. And he just jogs off. He just prances off dancing. And every now and again he turns around and just issues you to follow him. What would you guys do?
Follow him. I get
Follow
a good
him.
feeling from this guy.
Folk Delirious from Bloodloss will dance right after him.
He's speaking in rhyme. He must be trustworthy.
So come, dear travellers with hearts so true, Tom Bombnable will welcome each of you. In his house of wonders worries will cease, a heaven of peace and lasting peace. And you just kind of follow him then through the forest. And it is, I guess, what are you all kind of thinking as you just kind of follow this strange little man? Whatever he did, the wolves were absolutely terrified of him. He's not even holding a weapon. He's just dancing along. But as you look at him, you all just feel a warmth kind of inside and a safeness almost wash over you. You've all heard tales of strange creatures in Middle-earth, but you've never heard of something quite as strange as this. Sigmar, what would you kind of think as you follow this merry fellow?
I have absolutely no idea what's going on, but I know I wasn't going to survive against those wolves, and this seems like my only alternative. So I'm very cautiously following this guy.
Fair enough. Ted, what's kind of going through your mind as you follow this happy, cheery fellow?
Yeah, Ted's a bit, to say suspicious would be an understatement. So the guy just showed up and the wolves were like, no thank you. And he's like, yeah, come back to our house. And he's like, don't really have much of an option, but at least I knew what their intent was, like the wolves' intent was. And I have no idea what this guy's intent is. But two of the party members are basically on death's door, so, don't look a gift for horse in the mouse and everything. But he's definitely keeping an eye.
Yeah, fair enough. Totally understandable. Totally understandable. What about you, Nibs? In all your wonders, you've never seen a creature like this before.
No, but those wolves did seem pretty scared of him, so I think he gets a good feeling from this character, even if he is a bit odd.
Fair enough. What about you, Falco? You're weary now, hobbling along, still wounded, still not learnt your lesson as this strange creature is inviting you back to his home. What's kind of going through your head?
Hopefully blood. But he's not really sure at that moment, but he's just following the guy. Nothing really going through his mind at the moment. He's trying to stay awake.
Fair enough. And what about you there, Egamir? How do you feel following this fellow?
I'm like, yes, this is what I have been waiting for. And I take his hand and we dance off. I like try to keep. Well, first I take a look at the elf, and then I'm like disappointed, and then I take off with the dancing man.
Excellent, excellent. And you know, it's very dark in this forest, right? And but the more you follow it, the lighter it becomes. Almost like the sun is coming up, and it becomes dry. It stops raining. The weather changes. It's a phenomenon. It's some kind of phenomenon. You're just not really sure what's going on. And he leads you through. He leads you through the forest, and eventually he leads you over this little bridge to his little house. And he's got a wonderful 2-story house, kind of buried in the woods. It looks beautiful. Nice straight timbers. It's all yellow painted. A nice thatched roof. A beautiful waterfall. Beautiful flowers everywhere, and it really is a little piece of paradise that this creature has carved out in the woody end. Leave your burdens at the door, rest your weary feet upon my floor. With a feast of mirth and cheer we shall partake in Tom Tomnable's house. Memories we'll make. And he heads over to the door where another woman is stood there waiting for him. She's taller than him, and she's got a beautiful blonde hair that's braided that goes all the way down to her waist. Oh, Tom! Who have you found wandering in the forest? As Tom wipes his boots, gives you a smile, and he heads inside. And this tall woman kind of comes over to the group. Oh, hello there! Oh, you all look a little tired? A little injured? What have you been getting into in the woody end, eh?
Ted will definitely step forward. Yeah, Ted will definitely step forward and just say, thank you very much for your hospitality. Would you be able to tend to our 2 friends, please?
Oh, of course we can. Come along inside. Take off your boots at the door, though. I've just swept up. I've got a lovely feast ready. And, hey, we can get you sorted out. Come on, come inside. She heads over to the door, and she quickly, almost like your mother, issues you inside to kind of take care of you. And as you enter this house, you can all regain 1 hope point, as this is clearly a nice surprise. The worries, this Tom character really was correct. You do really leave your worries at the door as you kind of head inside. Yeah, and she'll you guys can kind of have a little short rest then now, and kind of regain some of your encumbrance. Yeah, so click on your short rest button. Where is the short rest button actually? Yeah, do you know where the short? Oh yeah, it's there, isn't it? So just underneath your endurance, there's a short rest that you can click on. And that'll kind of do everything hopefully automatically for you, as you guys can sit down at the table and partake. And there's food of all different kinds and varieties. It's mainly stuff that seems to come from the forest, berries and vegetables and kind of small animals and rabbits and that kind of thing. And she does look like a really good cook. It smells absolutely delicious as you guys kind of walk into the house. Don't be shy, sit yourself down. Feast as if you've got all the time in the world, this strange character says. Is anyone still a bit out of his intentions? Is anyone still a little curious? Or are you all just happy to kind of sit down and have a rest?
Ted's still definitely like, this is, the classic, too good to be true. All of a sudden, at the 11th hour, some guy shows up, scares away the wolves that are not scared of taking, 3 arrows to the face, and staring down 4 to 5 compatriots, and this guy just sings a little ditty and they scarper, and then we feel all good and fuzzy. Ted understands it's like some sort of magic, having been around Galadriel, etc. Well, not knowing her personally, but presence, understands that some of the high elves, etc., have magical capabilities, shall we say. But he just doesn't trust it, because why would somebody be doing all of this good out here and nobody really know who they are?
Yeah, definitely. I've always wondered what I'd think if I just met Tom Bombadil in the forest. You wouldn't really know what to think or say, would you, I guess? As all this kind of runs through your character's minds. Does everyone kind of sit down and get a bite to eat, or are you still kind of stood a little on shore, kind of wondering what's going on?
I'm starving after all that.
Yeah, the worry goes out of Nibs when he smells this delicious cooking, and he's very eager to partake.
Excellent. Well, you can all sit around then, and I think at first you're quite polite, but his wife. So I'm Goldberry. Do dig in. You don't need to be on shore in our house. Oh, it will look like you've had a terrible fright out there in the woody end. Those trees, they can be very naughty if you don't know how to handle them, like me and Tom. What exactly happened out there? What got you all in such a tizzy?
Well, we were valiantly fighting ghost wargs or something.
Ghost wargs? Oh my, that sounds absolutely dreadful.
Ted will just interject a bit like, it doesn't help when they don't seem to really be affected by mortal weapons.
I forgot to ask out of character, did my weapon actually do anything more than theirs or no?
I mean, maybe. The thing is, there's a difference between wraiths and wights, and your weapon is specifically built for killing wights. So, I mean, it might have done a little more narratively, but mechanically it wouldn't have done, if that makes sense. Oh, well, that's your problem, dearie. Evil spirits like that, they're bound to a place until you know how to get rid of them. Your weapons, your arrows, your swords, they won't do anything to creatures like that. You'd have to sing them a merry song, says Tom. Aye, a good song.
I love songs.
Well, maybe Tom can teach you a couple. You know, those spirits, they're just misguided. You know, they won't mean no harm. Maybe you can convince them to be good again. You know, become the good spirits of the forest rather than the bad kind. Tom, do you know a song? You know a song for such things, don't you? Oh, yes, Goldberry. And, well, Tom is going to sing you a song. In days of old, lord and men did reside in a tower of stone where hill stood with pride. His loyal hounds they bounded by his side, but tragedy struck and goodness died. Amidst the flames of terrible war, the lord of his hounds met a fate so sore. In the hills of Amanas, where they now saw the spirits transformed forevermore. They are terrible creatures, yet not wholly vile. Their malice grows as if the forest's guile slowly takes hold year after year, mile by mile, but Tom sees something more, a reason to smile. All the burnt beasts, what noble and true, now shadows of darkness with hearts askew, yet Tom Bombadil, he knows a secret or two, a flicker of goodness in them shines through. Through darkness claims them as part remains, a flickering of light and touched by stains. In their eyes, a glimmer of loyalty sustains. Tom Bombadil sings, and hope retains. Oh, so... can any of you remember that? Tom, you've got to sing a song that's much shorter. They're not going to remember all that. As he begins to dig in. Do any of you believe that singing a song at these terrible creatures is going to get them to go away?
I do.
Sure, Foco's out of it enough to be sure he believes.
He's out of it enough.
I've lost enough blood.
Ted ironically does, because he knows the power of song and like elven words, so he believes that, yeah, okay, maybe this. Also, he did just witness him literally get rid of them with the song, so he's like, okay, I can't. He's a bit like when he didn't believe that they were white, wargs. He was just like, well, I've seen it with my own eyes. It's really hard to say no.
And what about you, Sigmar? This is something you're definitely not used to coming from Dale. What's running through your character's head right now?
I've never heard of such a thing. I trust in steel, and I'm still confused as to why I fared so badly in this encounter.
Alright, well, Tom's going to teach you a song then. Oh, carry on.
Oh, is her name Goldberry, the
It is, yeah.
companion? I'll ask her, will it work for other people? You seem like magical beings. Do we need to be like you, or will it work for us?
No, it'll work. The power of song is magic in itself. Don't worry about such things. As long as you sing it true and with heart, goodness will find its way in this world, you know. Goodness always comes through in the end. All the dark times in Middle-earth. Think about it. We've always come through it. Just over the hills, the Shire still grows and still forms. Bree, still fine. Gondor in the south, towering towers, still safe from all darkness. Because in hearts of hearty folk, goodness lives. And goodness always shines through, my dear young hobbit. Now worry no more and dig in. Eat some more as it was. And Tom will teach you a song. And you can go back and you can save those spirits. Not with your swords or arrows, but with song. Rather than banish them, turn them into the creatures they once were. Tall and proud, filled with goodness, and to be guardians of the forest. And this is probably just a really strange concept to some of your characters, but I think maybe you're beginning to get your heads around it. So, who here's got the best singing voice? Because some of you are going to have to hold the wolves off while the others serenade them, as it was.
Pretty certain that's not Ted.
Okay, well, who's good at song? I think
We actually all appear to be almost exactly the same, except for Egamir, who I think is the best.
I have it as a preferred, or what's it called? Advantage.
awesome. Okay.
So I'm sort of wide-eyed, and I'm like, okay, teach it to me. Anyone else?
Not my strong. No, that one.
I mean, Ted will assist, but he ain't got no lungs on him. He can at least help you remember the words, maybe. But yeah,
Focal will join in as he cannot fight. He has one endurance. So he's not fighting.
Maybe the two injured of us should be the stand back and be the singers.
Okay, well, I'm going to write this in the tracking channel, and when the time comes, I want you to sing it, because I've made a tit of myself. It's only fair that you all make tits of yourselves as well. So, Goldberry says, well, listen closer then, dears. Tom? In the heart of nature's beauty, find your strength anew. Let the melodies of birdsong awaken what is true. Let the wind caress your spirits, heal your wounded souls, embrace the love and kingship that the wild earth extols. There you go, if you just sing that merry rhyme at the wolves, I'm sure you'll turn them back into good spirits of the forest, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, I've just typed that in the tracking channel for you to remember. We'll have to do a roll as well, however. As you've now been equipped with a way to kind of get these guys, as it was. It seems like you couldn't hurt them normally, but now you stand a chance. Some of you are going to have to fend them off, however, while the others do the singing, but hopefully we can overcome it. So I think what we'll do then, guys, because we've been playing for a couple of half hours now, I think we're going to take a 10-minute break so I can go grab a cup of tea and stretch my legs. I advise you all do the same. And we'll reconvene here in 10 minutes and go and see if we can save these spirits. I'll see you soon.
Alright, thanks.
Cool. In a bit.
Oh, alright then, fellows, I'm back.
So,
I'm here.
Awesome, welcome back. Okay, well, we'll just wait until everyone's back and then we can get on with the adventure. Okay, well, it's been 10 minutes. Let's just go around the table and just see who's here. So I know Egemeier, you're here. Falco, I know you're here. Ted, I know you're here. Sigmar and Nibs. Okay, I guess I need another minute then. Feel free to do roleplay if you want in the meantime. Talk among yourselves. You're having a lovely time in this lavish house.
Hello, hello.
Oh, welcome back there, Sigmar. Oh, Nibs, you around? Last call, Nibs? Okay, we'll get on with the adventure then, guys, as I don't want to burn too much time. So, you guys have a feast and a little rest in the house of Tom Bombnable, raising a lot more questions, really, than answers. He teaches you a merry song, and him and his wife Goldberg eventually send you on your way back to do the goodness, to show that there's still good in Middle-earth. As they send you back out with a wave, back up the garden path, full of supplies and wonderful things that they've scavenged. You all head back into the woody end with a new sense of hope that you can now put an end to this misery. But some things Tom said did, stick in your mind. Wolves from Anuminus. Does someone want to do a law roll and work out what Anuminus is? Maybe we know out of character, but in character our characters might not know or heard of it.
Everybody?
Yeah, you might as well, just to see if you've heard of it before. No, not you, Egemir, not you, Sigmar, sadly. What about Falco and Ted?
Once again, Foco, nobody tells him nothing.
Fair enough. Ted, are you there? I think Ted might have sadly nipped away again as well. So I think we've only got 3 people here, which I don't think is going to be enough to carry on. Oh, he's here, okay. Ted, can you do a law roll if that's okay?
No! Sure. Success.
Oh.
There you go, great success,
Okay.
just casually.
Awesome, well done. So, Ted, one thing you remember then, as Tom Bombnable and Goldberry kind of sends you back off into the woody end, is that Tom mentioned that the wolves had come from a place called Anamias in one of his special songs. And you know, Ted, that Anaminas is well, not just to the north, but it's far north of the Shire. And it was one of the first kingdoms of the first men that settled here. And it fell to ruin, sadly, in the second age of Middle Earth during one of the great wars with Sauron, and it has been completely destroyed and uninhabited since, and it lies a complete ruin. So it's interesting to you how the Wolven spirits have travelled so far and come here. Again, you're not really sure why, but the last you heard, Anamias, nothing was happening there. It seems maybe something is stirring to the north as well as the south, which might be again a little depressing for Ted to realise, but for now you still go on with hope in your heart, as eventually our heroes come back into the woody end.
So
Okay.
when you say north, are we talking like the Etten Moors, or are we talking like Mount Gundabad, like Grey Mountain sort of area?
If you go to the map that I posted in maps, there's a map of Eriador, and if you open up that map of Eriador, like actually open it up, and then like scroll in, you'll see the Shire, and you'll see Hobbiton, and then if you go north, you'll see like the ruined kingdom of Anamias. It's a bit bitty, that map, to be fair, so you might be better off going on the interactive Middle Earth map. And if you open
Literally
that,
the one I'm on.
Yeah,
It's literally the one I'm on. Just trying to find it now.
Yeah, you'll see it. You'll see it a lot better if you're on the interactive Middle Earth map. You see Buckland.
Yep.
If you just follow the road north,
I
of
see
Buckland,
by like Evanmere or Arthur Dane.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
around that
yeah,
sort of
there
area.
you go,
Okay,
buddy.
cool.
So they've come from there, and that'll become relevant a little later on. So just a bit of a tidbit information for you. As our characters then head back on into the Woody End. All right, okay. Sorry, the Old Forest. Right then. Well, we need to kind of pick up these wolf tracks then again now. You kind of go back to their lair, and they're not there since Tom has obviously scared them off, and they've scattered back into the forest. So I'm going to need to do what we did last time, and that is if all our characters can do an explore or a hunting roll, and we need 3 successes to catch up to these wolves. Hopefully this time we can get a random encounter in, we'll see. Oh wow, quite the tracker, Sigmar, well done. Oh, we need one more success. Oh, Falco's done it! Oh my! All right, you guys have avoided the dangers of the wooded end then yet again. Okay. Well, as we're following the tracks then of the creatures, it's a little evident this time that the trackers soon become the prey. As you're following the steps, that they kind of start to go all over the place in a certain direction, and you can feel the uneasy sense of the wolves watching, and you can see them prowling in between the trees, kind of stalking you guys, just like they were doing before, creeping slowly. The red burning eyes kind of gives them away. They still look a little wounded, but I mean, now we know that without the power of song, these creatures are not going to be banished and turned into the good spirits they should be. And very quickly, as you guys draw your weapons and sling your bows to try and defend yourself, the wolves do this time pounce. Luckily, you're not surprised because you passed all those tracking rolls, so well done. But you don't have a chance to surprise them this time as they pound upon you, and we'll have to see how this goes. So the real combat, we'll say, does now begin, and we'll have to go to the combat tracker. So the idea was then that Edemir and Falco were going to stay back and do the singing. So they unfortunately do take the range slot, which does mean that our elf this time is going to have to fight up front, which I know isn't ideal, but you can live with that, can't you, Ted, for now?
Yeah, it's all good. It's good.
We'll sing quickly.
Okay, well, unfortunately, again, there is no opening volley, and I am going to begin the combat. So everyone select the stance you want to be in. I mean, I'd recommend everyone in the front just goes on the defensive, because you know that you can't hurt these things now. So you might as well go on the defensive and give yourself the best chance you've got to stay alive, while these guys can sing the merry song, as it was. So, I don't really see the point in doing attacks, really, for Sigmar and Ted. I mean, you can attack if you want, just thematically, but we know it's not going to do damage. So would you prefer to gloss over it, or do you still want to roll the dice just to see what your characters would have done?
The reason I want to do it is because we can do something called a fend off, which would enable us to up our parry rating. So that's the only reason why I'd like to do it.
No, well done. I didn't think of that. You're completely correct, Ted. You should definitely still attack. So Sigmar, go ahead then and do me a roll. See if you can fend off the creature, giving you guys more time for the hobbits at the back to sing their merry song.
Okay. So I have to manually put in the penalty dice, right?
Maybe, yeah. If you have to manually put the plus dice in, you might have to manually put the negative dice in as well, I guess.
It looks like it, because I should be on +1, shouldn't I?
That really does suck. I really thought it had done that for you automatically, but never mind, I guess. Fair enough. Well, you know, it's not your priority, I guess, to attack, as you kind of push them back with your shield.
Yep.
No problem. Okay, Ted, good luck with that 6. As for once you put your bow away and pull out your elven blade.
Use a point of... well, no, I get an additional... Double check. Defensive stance. You lose 1d, but they also lose 1d. Okay, cool. So this is going to go really well. So yeah, he's going to spend a hope. You know what? He can spend a hope die to try and even it out.
Okay, mate. Good luck.
Whee!
Oh, did you get that 6? Oh,
yeah,
no.
that is a piercing thing, but I know that's not going to do anything to them.
Yeah, I mean, thematically, you do stab it real good into the neck, just proving to yourself that, you know, if this was a real warg, you would have taken it out. But we already know at this point that even though you cut deep and black blood flows, the wolf, it just makes the wolf sadly angrier. As we go over to Nibs, and Nibs, who would you like to help, Nibs? Sigmar or Ted?
I guess Sigmar, since it seems like Ted's doing pretty good over there.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So yeah, go ahead then, target him and do me that attack.
I think I targeted it. No, I didn't target it.
No, I don't think you have it. It's just you did target it and then it came off. So just try and target it again. Double click or yeah.
Can you tell me when I'm
yeah,
on?
there you go. You've got it now. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. There we go.
Okay, fair enough. Right then, Falco, I'm going to need a song roll from you then, as you begin to relay the song of Tom Bombnable. Singing from the bottom of your lungs, almost screaming at the wolves. Let's see if you can...
I'll use a hope and roll. Wow.
That's almost like mine last week. It's like 2, 2, 1. I love it.
Oh, to be fair, we have got the 2 weary people singing. In hindsight, that might not have been the best idea. Oh, okay. Well, we can maybe change out them with the stances if we need to. So you do a song roll then, try and soothe the beasts. But sadly, Falco, your singing voice is not that good. Your late sister was a good singer, but not you. Okay then, Egemir, let's see if you can turn the tide.
So somebody said they were going to spend a hope. Can I do that?
You certainly can. So it just means when you bring up your roll, just give yourself an extra dice, and then take 1 hope off your character, and it just gives you an extra d6.
That's one that actually does automatically if you actually click on the hope dice. That bit,
does it?
I don't know why. Yes, the one bit that seems to actually work.
Ooh! You also have the fair spoken talent, which means that you get an extra d6. I'll go ahead and let you apply it. I'll go ahead and let you apply it. So it'd be an extra 2d6. If you click on the hope and then give yourself another d6. As Egemir, you have a very good singing voice.
I did go to conservatory. Where do I add the bonus? Sorry. I clicked on the hope.
You should see a little bonus / penalty section. And then just
so
keep
up that to 1? Right.
Yeah, it's the one on the right, not the one with the cross through. The one on the right, and it'll add an extra d6.
Terrific. All right, say a little prayer. Here we go.
Hey!
Way! All right. So for the first time, then, the beasts weaken. The fire in their eyes extinguishes for a moment, but comes back burning. As Egemir, you land the first blow, as it was, against the creatures. Absolutely fantastic. Well done. Okay, it says we need 3 song rolls to succeed, so we're going to have to go over now to the burnt beast. That's 1 out of the way. Hopefully you guys can survive. Sigmar, let's have a look at you. You had a rest actually, so your endurance is back up to full as you're ready to continue the fight. You're in defensive stance. As he goes to attack you, I get 1 negative dice. This hopefully works out for yourself.
Automatic success.
Oh, I rolled the Eye of Sauron, which means I not only hit you, but you also need to make a protection roll. So I'm afraid he rips his fangs into your arm and it bites deep. What you need to do now is open your character sheet and click on your armour, and we'll see if your armour can protect you against the piercing blow.
Is it worth me spending a hope on this?
Probably. If you take an injury, there's a chance you can go down and die.
Okay, so I click on my armor and then I can adjust it.
Yeah. Surprisingly lethal, this system, isn't it? Might be worse than Wolfrup, honestly.
Yeah, it's getting a bit...
Like at least in Wolfrup you can re-roll and you've got fate points and stuff. This is brutal.
Yeah.
I kind of like it because it kind of somewhat dissuades you from like combat if you're not prepared for it. But at the same time, it's like, I know, having read the thing, like, you know, when I was doing my own, like, player characters can really carve through enemies if they do well. We're just a bit shit out of luck here that they're immune to basically mortal damage.
Yeah. It is a bit of a quirky adventure, this one, but
just
it's a fun one. Well done, you've made it. Your armour does not give. You are protected, but you do take 5 endurance from that one. We'll go over then to this burnt beast on the elf, as the elf twists and turns using his elven agility on the defensive stance. Hopefully your luck holds out, Ted. Let's see how this goes. Oh, a miss. You duck out of the way, almost running up the tree and jumping off of it as the wolf turns around, startled. Okay, well, we go to the top of the round then. Let's see if we can fend these wolves off, stop them from attacking. So over to you, Sigmar. Go ahead and do me an attack and hope you roll a 6. As you swing your shield around in a huge arc. Oh, you did roll a 6, but you failed the test. I'm so sorry.
Where can I see the 6? I'm not
If you click on the roll formula, it opens up for you.
Oh, right, yeah.
And you can see what you rolled there. Yeah, so you rolled a 6, but you didn't pass. So sorry about that.
Okay.
Ted, over to you. Let's fend them off.
So I want to ask this as a like DM question because it's a case of I can come up with a thematic way of doing it, but I also don't want to cheese it. I have the ability, if we're in like forest or night, to spend a hope point and magically succeed a skill roll.
Oh, okay.
So, are you happy for me to do that, or do you think that this isn't a particularly good moment to do that? In which case, I'm absolutely fine with that as well.
Is it supposed to work in combat? Like,
it just says that I don't know. It's a cultural blessing.
Okay.
It just says that, you know, when in a forest or at night, you spend 1 hope to achieve magical success on a skill roll.
Okay, so my first thought is that this is a combat proficiency test, not a skill roll. But I'm not going to.
That's perfect. No, that's fine enough. That's what I'm saying. That's the reason why I asked, and I didn't try it. I wanted to find out.
I'm okay with you to do it though until we work it out. I can ask on the Discord because I could be wrong. That's the thing. I could be wrong. So I'm happy for you to do it now.
We're learning together. It's absolutely fine. If shit goes sideways, then we can look at readjusting it. But for now, I'll just go
Ted. I really appreciate that. You're a swell guy. Thank you. I do note down these questions and I do ask in the Discord as well, just to double check. So I'll add this to my list and I'll just double check for you. Oh, well done! Mm-hmm. Oh, sadly no 6, but you did do the Gandalf.
Yep.
Okay, so it would have been a hit. Nibs, let's see if you can fend him off.
All right.
Sadly not, Nibs. Okay.
No.
Back over to our other 2 characters, and if you both succeed, you win. You win. So over to Falco. I'll give you an extra bonus dice if you actually sing the song, Falco. How's that sound?
That's... no thanks.
Oh, he's done
Nice.
it! Oh, well done! Alright! The wolf's eyes again begin to fade, and you see a semblance of something else behind them. Maybe Tom, this strange Tom character is correct, as for a moment they flicker in between good and bad, hesitate, but very quickly the shadow takes back over. As Egamir, I'll offer you the same deal. If you sing the song, I'll give you an extra d6.
Do I have to do all 4 lines of it? It's kind of long.
If you do 2, I'll give you a d3. How about that?
In the heart of nature's beauty, find your strength anew. Let the melodies of birdsong awaken what is true. I get 2 for that.
Go ahead, my friend. Thank you. That was
And
awesome.
do I also add 1 for my fair spoken?
You do, my friend.
All right, here we go. Oh, after all that,
Oh no!
because I didn't sing the whole song.
That's what it was. Ah, I'm so sorry then, guys. The wolves are going to get another round to chow down. So this wolf then, I think he's still going to attack Sigmar. Luckily, you're still on the defensive, sir. So he gets his minus dice, and he fails. Fantastic, great news. And the one on Ted, he's going to do another attack. Let's see if he passes this as well. Oh no!
I was saying, like, he had to get a 20. That's a pretty high bar to set. It's like,
No. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't want to go easy on you, so I'm going to spend my 6 and increase my piercing blow, which means I do a piercing blow on you, Ted. So you take 5 damage off your endurance, taking you to 18 endurance, and then you have to do an armor roll and see if you're injured.
don't want to spend hope because otherwise I am miserable. But, you know, it's always annoying when you're only 2 off. So, never mind.
Okay, I'm going to roll the d12.
Hey, I'll take that.
Oh, 1. So you have a wound. You're wounded for 1 day. Well done. That's not bad at all. Okay then, top of the round. Sigmar, go ahead and do your attack. See if you can fend him off.
Okay.
Oh, fair enough. As we go over to Ted.
Six.
I know, if only you'd passed. You got an Eye of Sauron, which means you get an automatic failure.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, Ted.
Oh, that'd be wrong anyway because that'd be minus of that 4. So yeah, I definitely fail.
Okay, no problem. Nibs,
All right.
as you're all
Is it selected
scrambling,
again?
battling for your lives.
Is it selected?
No, you've just deselected it. Select it again. Once you've selected it once, it stays selected forever. So
How about now?
no, for some reason it's not done it.
Yeah,
There you
no,
go.
it has.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, it just doesn't show up on my screen, so I have no idea.
Yeah, it's really weird that. I'm going to look into that for you because everyone else can see it's targeted. So
Okay. I'm on a
I don't know
Mac
what's going
too,
on
so
there.
I don't know.
yeah, no worries, man.
All right, let's go.
Oh, we've also got a 6 but failed to hit. Okay,
Oh, no.
Falco.
All right.
Falco, you see the elf get gnawed at. He's taken a wound. Sigmar's armor's been ripped off of him. The wolves are pressing home, Falco, as you desperately sing and try. Good luck.
All right, Foco.
Oh, you've done it!
Amazing.
I was not expecting that. Well done. So Falco, it turns out that you're a better singer than your sister, and your combined song between you and Edgar do send the beasts back, and you all watch as the beasts, you know, you can see that they question kind of who they are, kind of thing, as they step back away from the combat, and their eyes kind of change, and they shed and shake, you know, like when a dog's wet and they kind of shake to get the water off them. They do that, and all their black fur comes off, and in place of the two dogs are two beautiful spirit hounds. They look majestic, as Tom Bombable was right. And this time, Nibs, it leaps at you, Nibs, and it pins you to the ground, and it licks your face, almost
amazing.
like it's
I'm so
saying
glad.
thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad that I got to see that part, guys. I'm so sorry about this. I'm gonna have to run right now, but it's been wonderful playing with you all, and thanks for another great session. Graham, I sent you a message, but you just take care of Nibs for the rest of the session. I don't know what else is coming up, but thanks again, guys.
No worries, mate.
No worries.
Fantastic to see you, and you haven't missed much anyway. We're nearly done. Take care, and I'll see you soon.
All right, take care.
All right, goodbye,
Take
mate.
care, buddy. And then the hound quickly runs over to you, Sigmar, and begins to lick your wounded hand, and licking up the blood like a dog does when you're injured. Same for you, Ted. As you look, Ted, into this creature's eyes, and it's almost like it's saying sorry. Sorry for everything it's done, and it kind of snuggles into you as its warm spirit now feels like the spirit of Tom, if that makes sense. A warm happiness and glow begin to come through the creatures. You guys
Ted
have
loves
done
dogs,
it.
so he's happy.
You've done it. You've beat the burnt beasts, but not only beat them, you've done good in the world. You've created two beautiful guardian spirits that are going to protect this forest from shadow, keeping the Shire, Bree and Buckland ever safer for any incurring threats. It's kind of running through your head right now, Nibs, as you kind of watch this dog kind of take care of your companion. Oh, sorry, Nibs has gone, hasn't it? Sigmar, what's kind of going through your head right now?
I'm bewildered by this, but I feel everything, all the disappointment and fear has just left me now. I'm feeling, even in this dark woods, I'm feeling positive and hopeful.
Excellent, that's fantastic. Egamir, they couldn't have done it without you and your beautiful singing voice. How do you feel now? It's all over.
Oh, I'm so relieved I survived my first adventure outside the Shire.
Barely, but yeah.
Barely. And I got like a battle scar to show for it. So now I have something to brag about.
Awesome. What about you, Ted? As you love dogs, you're patting the spirit. Your hand is warm and glowing as you meld with this creature, and you can just see how and feel just how grateful it is that you've done this for it.
It reminds him of his hound, Lomin, that he's got back in Mirkwood that he hunts with and uses on sentry. So he's kind of reminiscing a bit homesick,
Oh, that's nice.
having only just left.
And what about you there, Grub? You've also survived another adventure somehow. How do you feel?
You said, remember singing, you remembered his good sister, Leisha, who was a great singer until she started smoking. And then was a horrible singer. She was burned alive by the said smoking. So that makes him a little sad. And then the dog's come and he's happy. Another adventure under his belt. It's a large amount of blood loss, but looking as the sun comes up, yeah, this is a good life for him. No farm for him, I think.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, the dogs begin to lead you guys safely out of Woody End. They take you through the paths, and the trees kind of recoil from them as they're happy. They're not going to hurt you while you're with these wonderful spirits. And these aren't normal dogs. They're like I said, they're huge. They're old dog breeds of the kings of old that they'd use as guards. They're almost magical back then. And the fact that like in the books, there's like the king of horses. Do you remember that? And he was like a magical horse. That's kind of what these dogs are like. Like they're not just normal dogs.
It's Gandalf's horse, isn't it? Is the
Shadowfax.
Shadowfax, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like that. Like these dogs were like what all dogs would have come from, because all creatures in Middle Earth have magical origins. So these spirit creatures lead you without any trouble back out through the woody end, as you guys make it back. What would you guys do next then? Would you head back to Crick Hollow or Brandybuck? Would you head back to see Farmer Maggot? Now you've kind of done the job.
Maybe Brandybuck, just let them know that they're safe. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they'd want to know they're okay, right?
So the two hounds then leave you at the forest, as they're not able to leave here now. This is where they're going to live and they're going to protect. As you look into their eyes for the last time, they howl into the air, but this time it's a good howl, not a bad howl. Just to let you know, just to say thank you for everything you've done, and then you head off back to Brandy Hall. Where you're greeted. I'll just take us inside Brandy Hall. Well, it's daytime now. You're kind of greeted by a different bounder who takes you inside, where Mer Gardock kind of waits very anxiously as you guys come in, and you all look, terribly wounded and covered in muck, but you all look somewhat happy as the mayor kind of looks over the characters and. Are they gone? Are they defeated? Did you send them back to where they came?
We're troubling you anymore.
They'll protect you now.
They'll protect us? What are you talking about, Egamir?
They're good spirits. They're out in the woods. They'll be there.
The mayor kind of looks over the other characters. He doesn't really understand what he's talking about.
I've got stars in my eyes.
I mean, they tried to eat Rolo Boffin, and now you're telling me they're good all of a sudden? What did
Well,
you
we
do to
defeated them.
Talking to?
And they won't be bothering you guys anymore. That's the bottom line.
Well, very well. I don't know how we can thank you. I really don't. You're welcome in Brandybuck whenever you like. We'll put you up, feed you, clothe you, whatever you need. Everything you've done is greatly appreciated. Any rumours I've heard about Nibs and Falco, I'll make sure to put to bed in these parts of the Shire. Thank you ever so much for what you've done, and thank you, Sigmar, thank you, Ted. I honestly, from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta stop those rumors that I'm dead. I mean, just because everyone else dead, I'm still alive. Mostly.
I think you all need a good rest, that's for sure. You should go and tell Farmer Maggot down the road. I know he'd be very pleased. And he'll offer you drink and food if you want to stay, that's for sure. Or you can head off down to Farmer Maggot and let Bilbo know what you guys have done.
We should thank Tom Bombadil.
Ted will turn and say, I think he'll know. I believe entities such as him have a connection with those sorts of things. And had we not dealt with it, he probably would have soon enough.
That's good to know.
Yeah, we should head off and tell
Tell the farmer.
Farmer Maggot.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you just grab a quick bite to eat then, or at least the hobbits do,
Yep.
as they haven't eaten in at least an hour or two. as as they head off back to Bamfurling, as Farmer Maggot's dogs quickly run out. But this time, the dogs don't bark. They stand with a quiet respect, as maybe they know what's happened, which is quite peculiar. But they lead you up to Burnfurlong. Father Maggot stands on the porch smoking his pipeweed, and he looks absolutely puzzled. Looks like my dogs have gone soft.
Ted would just say, well, they've grown sense, one of the two.
I hope not. I need him to keep people at bay. Well, how did it go? You all look like you tackled a few wargs anyway.
Well, we
Well,
survived.
is it-
That's the main thing.
You survived. Well, come inside then. Bilbo and his friend are waiting for you. They got something very important they want to talk to you about.
Oh, more friends. Can't wait.
Oh, I think you'll like this one. Tall fella, pointy hat. And as you guys head inside the farmhouse, stood around is the usual crew, but also another strange character you've probably not met before. Ted, you might have heard of him, as everyone's heard of him. Nibs and Falco and Egemir, you might have got a glimpse of him a few years ago. Sigmar, you probably saw him as well in the Battle of Dale, come to think of it.
Ah.
He's very tall, slender, grey hair, bushy beard, and he's in a grey robe with a blue pointy hat sat next to him, as he sits with a big long pipe, blowing smoke rings, as he gives you one. Oh, hello. Oh, good to see you again.
Ted will definitely bow and say, Mithrandir, which is truly an honour.
No need for that, my friend, no need. Ah, you've all made it back in one piece then, as Bilbo blows a smoke ring. Although it looks some of you have barely made it back in one piece. Tell me, those wargs didn't give you any trouble, did they?
No, sir. No ghost wargs will stop us.
Ghost wargs? Oh. Guess that's another one to add to your list then, Falco. I'm going to get you your own book made. Ted and Sigmar, I presume you looked after the little ones?
Ted kind of looks down at like the massive like gash across his like leg, and like the other two, they're bleeding out. He's like, as best I could manage.
Ah, good. Well, my friend here, I'm sure some of you have heard of him or met him, goes by the name Gandalf. Yes, that's me, Gandalf the Grey. He's come with a little bit of insight about where these wolves might have come from. I think your adventures are only just beginning, my friends. Of course, it'll have to wait till after winter now. You're not going to be able to make any kind of journey in the snow, of course. The season of rest is now upon us. Have a good month or so. Stick your feet up. Farmer Maggot has arranged that you could stay here and eat and drink to your heart's content and sing songs and be merry. Oh, the Shire is a wonderful place. I'm even going to do a little bit of fireworks display before I go back on wizard's business. But, tell me, have any of you heard of the ruins of Anominus?
Yes. Ted will turn around and be like, yes.
Oh, very good, very wise. What about you simpler folk? As he looks over Sigmar and the hobbits.
No,
No, please, enlighten us.
Yeah, we have. Literally, Tom Bombadil in his song talked about Aerys, and then Ted was like, "Oh right, that's there, cool." Yeah, like sure. And unless I actively state that like I'm keeping something from the group, it's a pretty good thing to say that Ted's a pretty open and knowledge is helpful thing. So
Okay.
we only just
Yeah, okay. Well, the mood becomes a little serious then, as Gandalf draws you all in and blows into the smoke ring. The ruins of Minas lie about 2 weeks' journey north of here. Yes. Beside Lake Evandin. It used to be a place where the Dunedain have come from. You've heard of the Dunedain? The Rangers? Probably not. They keep themselves a secret, as it was.
Oh, we met a couple days ago. Gave us this sword after we killed a white.
Hobbits are full of surprises. Well, Minas was razed to the ground by Sauron. Do you know Sauron? Have you heard of him before? His name is not to be said lightly. So I'll say it once and never again. You should all keep it to yourselves. A terrible dark lord of ages past. Him and his armies razed it to the ground. Burnt everybody inside, they did. Hounds and men alike. We think something is stirring there. People are going missing, travelling that way on the roads. It won't be long before a shadow is cast from the ruins down over the Shire. I would like, since you have all shown such courage and bravery, to go and investigate. You see, you cannot choose your fates, and often people say that they don't like the fate that they've been given. It is up to you to put an end to this darkness before it is too late. I'm afraid I need to go back down south. As you may have heard, things are stirring. Middle-earth is entering a new age of darkness.
You didn't try.
I'm leaving you here. Sigmar, Ted, you can handle this for me, can't you?
No, you can count on us.
Ted will again bow and say, Mithrandir, truly it would be an honour to carry out this task for you.
Very well, very well. Well, I'm never late. And he stands up and he puts his blue hat on. Oh, Gandalf, you're not going already, are you? I'm afraid so, Bilbo. Wizard's business. You will put them up, won't you? Through the winter? Oh, yeah, well, I suppose so. Got plenty of seed tape to go around in my larder. Very good, Bilbo, very good. Meet me in Bree when the task is done. Early spring, yes, early spring. Take care, my friends. I'd say good luck, but something tells me you won't need it. And the wizard heads out of the door as the camera begins to pan up now out of Farmer Maggot's house. As it looks down over our heroes as the seriousness drops and you can all dig into a lovely feast and get some rest. It seems like at least you've got a few months now, 4 months, that you can rest, recover, recuperate, and train before you'll be going off to the ruins of Anomias to find out exactly what's going on. And that is where we'll end our session today, folks. I really appreciate you coming out, and it was a pleasure to run. Thank you very much.
Thank
That
you.
was fun, thanks.
Do we? This is such a D&D thing to ask, but like, do we level, or is that like you're going to do that next session?
Yes. So, what happens next is then, guys. So, Sigmar and Aemir, I know this is your first session, but we've done 5. And how Lord of the Rings works is, like in other games, you get experience don't you, after like every game, and you kind of level up your character. In Lord of the Rings, you do like a series of adventures, and then you have a hero phase. And the hero phase represents like a week or a few months, depending on the length of the GM decides. And this is where you get to spend all the experience points that you've accumulated, and it represents you training and stuff like that. So you get to put your skill points up, some of your combat proficiencies up. You also get to increase your valor and wisdom for more virtue and rewards, and you also get to do like a set of things as well, which are all in the rule book. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a mass post on the Discord rather than waffle on about it. I'm going to make a post on the Discord with all the options, with all the information that we're going to get. And then next week, I'm going to run a free session, okay? So on the 17th, we're going to do a free session that's probably going to take about an hour, where we're all going to meet up and kind of talk about what we're going to spend our experience on and level up. And then on the 24th, we're going to begin our new adventure from the Lone Lands book as we head north. Is that okay with everyone?
Sounds good.
Okay, fantastic then. All right then. Well, that's where I'll leave you guys then this evening. It's 11 o'clock, so I'm gonna head off and get some sleep because I've got to be up early tomorrow. Keep an eye on the Discord. I'll keep you guys posted about what we're gonna do. I'll put a sign up for next week on the 17th. We'll probably meet around about the same time, or maybe a little later, since we're only going to be a quick session. And we're going to have to probably talk about what we're going to do. So I'll post a big list and we can decide how we're going to handle it. If you've got the rule book, I know that I've sent it to a few of you. It's kind of just in there. If you just look up Fellowship Phase, it's page 118, and it's got everything in there that you can kind of go through what we're going to talk about.
So the only thing, just so that I can think of like points and stuff, is it's meant to be like, was it 3 points per session or something, and then at the end,
yeah, so it's 3 points a session, so it should be 15. But I've spoken to people, and apparently to get 15, it makes you a little bit overpowered for the first few.
I was going to say that's quite a lot.
yeah. So I'm going to do 9. So we'll get 9 so you get skill points and you get proficiency points. They're 2 different things. Rather than waffle on now, like I said, have a look through the book, and then I'm going to post all the details. You'll get 9 points in each, and we can kind of level those up and see how we want to increase our characters as it was. And cool. We'll go from there. So if anyone's got any questions, we're going to do a Yule phase. So normally you just do like a quick rest, but there's like a Yule one which takes like a full few months over winter, and that's like the main one that restores all your hope and shit like that.
You can also use it to like get rid of shadow scars and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this is just to represent like us having like a soft reset. Now we all kind of know the rules and leveling up a little bit, because the next set of adventures are like they're a totally different pace than this. This is like just the Shire kind of chilling out, exploring the content. This is now going off into Middle Earth and really dealing with that. It's like basically doing what they do in Lord of the Rings in the films. You're going out now and really hitting hard into all the stuff. But it's going to be awesome. So I'm really looking forward to doing that for you guys. So good night then. Take care. And any questions in the meantime, do let me know. And I'll catch you all next week for our Yule Phase game. Okay? I'll see you soon.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Okay. Take care, guys. Thank you very much. Mm.